moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be a little brighter. Yeah, that's all I was saying.
Definitely is brighter.
Look good or bad? Good or bad?
It was up to you. It's like definitely brighter.
Yeah, I don't wanna blind everybody. So let me turn my HDR off. There we go. There you go. Natural lighting for you guys.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 191. Yo, we're closing in on 200 episodes. Shout out to you guys who've been here all the way, man. Episode 191 of the RGT podcast. Hope you guys are doing well. Good to see everybody in the chat. And thanks for joining us. I see you guys. Let's go ahead and shout out the chat real quick. And we'll get into this. What's up, Briar? I see you, bro. Nathaniel, Donald, what's going on? Colt Classic Cage, a.k.a. Cassie, what's up? We got Muck, what up? Marlesco, been a minute, dude. Good to see you. Iman, always in the chat. What's up, bro? Killer Ninja, that's a new face. Welcome. Good to see you. We got G in the building. I see you. Overdone, what's up? We got HexGaming, and I think I said what's up to everybody. What's up? Shout out to y'all. Let's get into the panel now. Let's get into the show. All the way from an overloaded podcast. All the way from a character who's completely dead in the video game that he's so hyped for. All the way hyping up a game that's considered weeaboo. All the way. Look at he's waiting for me to say something now. Look at him. Over here rocking his Punisher hat. The one and only Red Hood 420. Hello, Red Hood 420.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, Red Hood.
Nothing much.
Dude, what's up with the creepy voice today?
I don't know, man. It's kind
Like you got your porn voice on or something?
It's something like that. That's what I think it is, but no, it's like, what can I say? Yeah, I'm not hyped for Gotham Knights. What you're talking about? Like I said, the best Red Hood interpretation of a video game is
Arkham Knight.
Arkham Knight. Like, in terms of gameplay, in terms of everything, in terms of characterization. Not freaking Gotham Knights, where he's using non-lethal rounds, but armor-piercing bullets, which doesn't make any sense in itself. And you got Nightwing throwing people off buildings, and they're 100% dead.
He's on a paraglider.
Yeah. But, like... And man, you gotta stop calling Final Fantasy 16.
Hey, that's what people call it. I didn't say it. I didn't say it. If you were caught, we're gonna get into that in a second. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I had to wake you up because I know you were asleep. You were snoring in your chair when we got you in there. He was dead in his chair when you got in here.
Yeah, totally.
Shout out to the Mooch. What's up, brother? Crossfire. I see you, bro, in the chat. What's going on? Next up, we got Next Gen Player who made his official debut in the Twitter Spaces. It actually did really, really well. Congrats to you, brother. Welcome to episode 191, RG Podcast. Good to see you.
Yeah, man, it was good. Thanks a lot for joining yesterday. We did I did my first Twitter Space, and I was talking to Dapper Tux, who was also on the call, and before I launched it, I was like, this is just going to be a disaster, man. Like, I've never done a Twitter Space before, and I was like, are people going to want to join? Like, do people even give a crap what I have to say? Like, are they busy? Like, I don't know, man. I had no idea what to expect, and suddenly, like, I turned on the Twitter Space, and then it was like there was like 100+ before I even started talking, and then you joined, and it was like, I don't know, man. Like, I ended up. Yeah, man, I had a good time, and I was like, okay, well, I guess that means you got to do more, right? If people are gonna show up, then I guess you got to do more of those things. So yeah, I'll probably do some more Twitter Spaces at some point, and maybe
I say
join
you should
some
do
other.
one after Xbox. You should do one after the Xbox Bethesda showcase. And
I should
do one,
and I should join other spaces.
Or Summer Game Fest. That's Thursday, right?
Fest. Yep, it's another one.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I might join some other spaces, put my hand up. Like I've listened in on a few Twitter Spaces, and I've always just listened, but maybe I'll request to be a speaker, and we'll see what happens. I don't know, but that was pretty exciting, man. So yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've talked to Jeff Keighley twice through Spaces. Awesome dude. Looking forward to getting him on the show soon. We're gonna wait until after Summer Games Fest and probably after the Game Awards to get them on. So I'll update all you guys on that momentarily as we go. But it's a lot happening behind the scenes. We got a big interview tomorrow, next week as well, and some other stuff happening with the channel. So I can't share it with you guys yet, but we're doing a lot of cool stuff. I'm gonna tell you guys off air. You guys are gonna be like, holy shit. So we'll talk
by the way, BitCloud, like,
Mm-hmm.
didn't you get the memo, man? Like, it's Nintendo week. What the hell are you doing? What are you wearing, man?
Yes, sir.
Is that just like a plain shirt you got on there? What,
Yes,
like,
sir.
what do you do? Where's your
Yes, sir.
like where's your Metroid shirt?
Imagine you pull out a damn Mario hat out of left field. Everybody wants one. Everybody wants one. Listen, not this week, not me, not this guy. I've outgrown Nintendo. Nintendo hasn't grown up with me, but Nintendo still does well. Nintendo's
I'm just teasing you about it. I know that you're not.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny that I swear we never coordinated. I swear me and Red never like mess each other. Hey, dude, what are you wearing today? It's Nintendo Day, don't you know?
Nintendo Day. Oh God. Let's go ahead and get into today's show, man. Yesterday was a pretty badass state of play. It got the internet buzzing. We talked about this last week. You know, it was going to be a pretty lit week, but I wasn't expecting it to be this lit coming out of that state of play. There was some games there that I was not legit expecting. There was one in particular that I did think that we were just going to get an update for, and then it ended up being more of it. Like, we got like a full-fledged reveal, and on top of that, it got, you know, VR support. Then another game that we were talking about got official VR support, and of course, y'all already know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Resident Evil. So let's definitely get into this, man. When we first saw the trailer for Resident Evil, I immediately thought, okay, is this Last of Us or something? Because the way it was shot, you saw the R.
Dude,
even the
font remake, yeah,
totally me, man. Yeah, the fonts, the trees, the guitar,
the song. Yeah, I was like, is this Last of Us remake or the Last of Us Factions? Then it says 4. I'm like, oh no, and this is RE4. And I want to go ahead and get into this, man. Resident Evil 4 looked amazing. It's got the full-fledged Resident Evil Village like skin, I guess you can say, right? It's got that full treatment. True. All the characters have been redesigned, including the first guy that you see, the first villager, where you go and ask him, hey, have you seen Ashley? And he attacks you. He got a whole new redesign. He looks great. Sattler looks menacing. More menacing than I've seen with his hood on. The village actually looks incredible. They did a lot of cool stuff with this. And also, it's got the Resident Evil 2 combat from what I'm looking at. The Resident Evil 2 remake style, the way he moves with the gun. So I'm excited, man. This looks absolutely fantastic. Then they ended it saying it was also going to get VR support. Who wants to go first? You want to go first, rather? How you feel about the trailer?
Before I go into it, I found it like crazy that they would announce that at a state of play. I thought they would have announced it at a PlayStation showcase, which gets me thinking like there might not be like a lot of third-party like announcement games. There'll be some, but I think it'll just be more first-party oriented. But seeing that from leaks and rumors that RE4 remake very much is going to be more darker and serious than what the original was, which I'm very happy about because I don't really care for like it's like I felt like RE4 was very much a little bit campy. Which I know some people love that aspect where you're doing like drop kicks and suplexes. But this one I feel like is showing like this is going to be very dark, very serious, very much in the same vein as RE2 remake, which we know from like the rumors and leaks that the RE2 remake team is doing the RE4 remake.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy about that because RE3 remake, like I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it.
It wasn't like the second one for sure. It wasn't like RE2.
Yeah.
So, and I definitely know that they're not going to cut content with like they did with RE3 remake. So like seeing Leon and everything, I think it's going to be great and
Ada's
coming out
new
March.
Design, you know, Ada looks great.
Yeah.
She's no longer
Ada, like
dress.
that also confirmed, you know, the what is it?
Separate ways.
The new campaign for her and stuff like that, which the rumors and leaks were talking about that. So them giving a little like wink and nod to that, like I'm happy about that. So it's like it's gonna be a really great year for Capcom, and starting from December to March is going to be like a great like duration for horror fans in that genre, because a lot of people been like starving for a good horror survival game. So like it's going to be fun.
Oh, we got our answers, and that was later in the show, but I'm okay.
Plus, we even got games like Alan Wake announced. Like, it's just. I'm a big horror fan, like one of my favorite genres, and like the fact that there's like more horror games coming out in the next, 8 months, 9 months than there's been in the past few years. It's like, man, I just can't. I want to like time warp into December right now.
Oh hell yeah, for sure.
But yeah, man, I thought it looked really good. I thought it was really interesting too, because when you look at it, there's actually like a couple of scenes where it almost looks like Ashley is playable as well. Like it's like it's kind of got that same like over the shoulder angle that the gameplay has. So I was like, like okay, there might be some segments with her. You might play her
as an opening, you know what I mean? Like the setup, her getting kidnapped, and then it goes to the president pulling Leon in or something. Like, yeah, I can see it.
Like when she's like running through the forest or whatever, right? Like, maybe you're gonna control her for that, right? But the cool thing about it too, I think what I'm most excited about is that it doesn't seem like Ashley's gonna have the same story as in the original. Like it just seems like she's going to be more like I think she's going to be more helpful. Again, you might be able to control her. Like, I'm just really hoping that it's not kind
badass. Maybe they'll redo her.
a little, not like a full on, man, because I don't want her to take away from Ada, who already has that role in this game. But like, I just want her to be more than just like a helpless person that, Leon just has to like escort through the game, right? Like,
you have to watch your fire.
Really, but the other thing that's like, that's really exciting. I mean, Red just touched on it, but it's just the fact that this seems so much darker. Like, it seems like more claustrophobic areas, and even the color scheme. Like I remember from the first one, it was like there were like brighter tones. This one, at least
like
in the trailer,
out with like a lot of fog in shots, especially in the village.
Yeah, it's like foggy and like darks and blues and dark purples and all that. Like it just seems like a completely different palette than what we had in the first game. So yeah, man. Like I don't know what else to say other than it just looks amazing, and I can't wait. But I also wonder too, I mean, the one thing that's actually interesting is that you have to imagine that the full game is not going to be VR, because they would have announced they would have had, Resident Evil 4 VR, which they didn't. They just said it was going to have like VR component, which I guess means like an exclusive mode on PlayStation that's going to be VR.
Maybe Mercenaries. Remember Mercenaries on the original? Maybe that's got like a redesign for VR. Maybe for it.
You know what? Actually, it just reminds me too. I actually should check. Did they say it was PSVR 2?
Yeah.
They did, right?
Yeah.
But isn't the game releasing? Didn't they say in March
24th?
March 24th, but VR it says in development for it.
Yeah, it says in development. I don't think it's going to launch.
Okay. So
it's still building for.
All right, I could.
Why
I was going to say because
game?
it seems like it's pretty clear that PSVR 2 is going to launch in 2023.
Okay, but Hunter, why wouldn't it be the full game?
Well, because they would have said.
It said it's in development.
No, but if you look at the wording, it was like something less than the full game. It just
but if 8's in VR and 7's in VR, and that's the full game. If 8's going to be in VR, why can't a GameCube game be in VR?
It certainly could, but it just doesn't seem like it based on the wording that they. I would have assumed that if the whole game is going to be VR, that Sony would have said they'd want to brag about, like, because like what else is going to be selling PlayStation VR 2 than the full game?
I think because they didn't have anything to show for it. That's probably why they didn't really, go all out and say, hey, you know what I mean, full-fledged VR for it. They just said in development, because Resident Evil Village, we got a full-fledged, a demo for it. We saw shots for it.
Well,
did they say that's going to be the whole game, or is it just going to be the castle section?
It seems like the whole game.
It looks like the whole game, yeah.
I'm just making sure.
Well, I mean, I don't think they really said, but it just, like, they just said Resident Evil Village in VR.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they would have told us it's just the castle if that's it, because like our expectations now is the whole game.
Yeah.
Because I know RE7 VR, like, it was like you put in the game, you're able to play VR, right? Are they charging separately, or is it going to be like a free update type of thing that they're going to do for PSVR 2? That's what I'm wondering. If you're going to have to buy it again, or if you're just, or if you own the copy, you get it for free.
Yeah, unless they're throwing additional content at it or something like that, then I don't think so. It'd probably more likely just be like a free upgrade, free update.
Yeah, like I'm kind of envisioning like perhaps maybe like either a segments in VR or there's like a prequel part to this that's in VR or maybe even like a mercenary modes in VR.
Yeah, I can see it.
Like what I mean, the thing is too is like whatever it ends up being, it's probably going to end up being awesome. So like,
true.
The odds of me being disappointed is pretty slim here.
Well, I've played through Resident Evil 4 in VR already on the Quest, and it's effective. It's really good, actually.
No, okay. What's
Nice,
up,
man.
Blaze? Welcome to the show. Officially.
Yeah, I'm in a shitty mood, bro.
I know.
It's on the
video.
If you know what's going on, Big Cloud, then you know what's going on.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just shitty.
I know.
But yeah,
I know.
Yeah, Resident Evil. That was definitely one of the highlights. I didn't like the jacket. I know that's the original jacket. I was telling Red Hood this, but it's the original jacket he was wearing. But it just looked,
Oh, his the brown jacket.
Yeah, it just looked too. I don't know. The animation was kind of odd. It just looked too stiff. I don't know. I gotta watch it again.
Well, it looked like there's at least like one scene in the trailer where he's not wearing it. So, like, there's discussion going on where it's like maybe he just wears it for the first little while. Hopefully for you, Blaze, like he loses his jacket within the first hour. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna have multiple outfits too. Like,
yeah, they'll have the.
Oh, there's that shot of him in the boat. You can take a look at it.
Right, I'm nitpicking. I'm just saying, like, I'm excited for it. I'm glad it's definitely a fan favorite. The hardcore Resident Evil guys kind of like hate on it, because they like the more survival inventory management of 2 and 3 and all that. But 4 was definitely they shook shit up, bro. Yeah, that shit was fucking. It was nice.
Oh man,
Dude,
yeah, I thought
we haven't seen
like...
Krauser yet. Krauser's gonna be fucking insane, or fucking the dude. What was the guy's name with the one eye? The one that had like the fake eye that you need to get through the gate. You know what I'm talking about? The one guy. Because that's where you lose the jacket, boys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm yeah, that's where you lose the jacket. Where he throws the kick at him and he throws you out, and then you lose the jacket because you get taken with Lewis. Because Lewis was in the trailer as well with his gun.
I'm just waiting for you to talk about. There's only one game that really mattered from that whole show. So, dude, and look at the whole show was good.
I know.
Probably it's our game of the show. The one that we talked about yesterday.
We're about to get into that right now.
That's my guess, but we'll see.
Shout out to Def Singer of being a member for 15 months. I appreciate you, bro. He says, Final Fantasy 16 2023 Red Hood. I'll take my flowers. I mean, to be fair, you also
you want me to respond? I'll respond real quick. Def Singer did this for multiple months, even a year, saying Starfield would come out.
Oh no!
Yeah, I got him recorded
that date, as well as Redfall. 2 games. He was very confident that would come out this year. I don't want to hear it. Now, if it was 1 for 1, sure. But man, 2 for 1.
Yeah, Death Singer.
Odds better than his.
Blaze 4K / Death Singer tweet. I exposed him. The floodgates are coming.
Yeah. Well, I have to say too, man. Like, I think most people were surprised at how far away Final Fantasy 16 was. Like based on what we've been hearing from the development, like it seems like they're in final polishing. Like everything is pretty much complete. Yep. Like I would have I thought there was a chance maybe it was 2023, but I thought for sure it'd be Q1. I never thought it'd be Q2. Like holy, a year
that
away,
game looks like it's pretty polished though.
Yeah, they said it's. The Yoshi P said,
"I don't like Final Fantasy.
It's, playable from start to finish. They're just debugging phase and stuff."
Hunter, have you watched Red Hood's reaction to Final Fantasy?
Oh no,
but I can just imagine
he was crying.
If you want to, I'll keep telling myself. But
again, all of this, the summits when the summons were there was that like roll at the end where it's like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, Odin, Ramu, Bahamut.
He was naming all the characters. I'm like, look at this guy, like naming it, like all these fucking monsters. Like, oh, is that who is that? But yeah, I think it's the most. I think this Final Fantasy is gonna. Not to say it's not like mainstream, but like most, it just looks like, something I could get into. Like, it looks like, honestly, looks like, I don't want to say Elden Ring, but like all these abilities freeze and shit. Like, I just don't like the numbers, Hunter. Like
Oh,
I know it's probably a staple in Final Fantasy. I just, if I can toggle that off.
Dude, speaking of the numbers, why was like, I mean, I understand that summons are like pretty powerful, but why the hell was every summon was like 35,000? Did you guys see the amount of damage? It was like 40,000, 37,000. I'm like, holy jeez! Like, okay, first of all, how much hit points do these enemies have? And like, why the hell am I doing 35,000 damage? Like,
yeah, it's interesting they're going the route that these certain people have the power of the icons and stuff. So I was just like, it's an interesting twist because it's like you can see certain characters that like literally you're facing that like look like the humanoid version of like the Titan or Garuda. So it's like interesting that they're going that aspect. It's interesting like you're seeing blood in a first mainline Final Fantasy game.
It's
like rated M. The only other one, it's not even a mainline game, it's a spin-off, which was Final Fantasy Type 0 HD. So it's like it's interesting they're seeing that aspect for that. So it's crazy. Like Yoshi P, like I'm not gonna lie, is kind of carrying Square on his back with the MMO game and now this. I'm just dude, just give him whatever he wants at this point.
Are you confident in this Final Fantasy? Because the last Final Fantasy, I'm not talking about the remake. I'm talking about
you're talking about 15. Yeah, that was a Tabata. There was a lot of stuff going on with that game because if you saw versus 13, a way different game. That game actually, like in the early trailers, had blood and stuff, and then once they switched directors, changed the story like way differently to the boy band, like on the road thing, and I didn't care for it like that. It split the fandom yet again in half. So I was just like,
you pulling at the heartstrings. I thought Resident Evil Outbreak was pretty good too. I would love a remake of that, like retelling.
Code Veronica before Outbreak.
Well, yeah, hell yeah.
Well, I wanted to bring it back to Resident Evil because I have a theory in my head
for
that
Village or RE4.
No, like the timeline, right?
Oh, okay.
Because they've been doing remakes. I'm assuming also RE1 remake, which also I think it said Biohazard. So I feel like this is like a timeline, right? That's gonna keep getting remakes up until even 6. I think. Like you're gonna remake for 5, 6. I think if they even do it for 6, which I feel like that might be the case, it's not even gonna be 6. It's just gonna be a way different game.
Probably gonna be up to 5, maybe. Maybe we get to
5 was cool, bro.
Yeah.
5 was.
They kind of killed him when he's punching the.
It was okay. It gets a really bad rep, but it was okay. Like it was okay.
That's the only thing I didn't like about was that tag team aspect where you have to have a partner, like legit.
That's the only game my girlfriend could ever play because she can't control the camera, and the camera like moves by itself in that game.
Nah,
the right analog stick. So
yep.
See, you all got your memories with it. So that's what's up.
Like for me, if they do those remakes, like I said, it just has to be dark, survival horror, and 6. If they do 6, way different game than what 6 was.
Like, are you staying on VR, Big Cloud? Are you hopping on VR next, or are you kind of jumping
for Resident Evil?
No, just in general. Like, are you going to talk about VR titles next that you've seen, or are you just?
Yeah, could talk about everything. We seen at the show. So I want to move from that. Again, Resident Evil, Fire. It was a great reveal. Village, VR support. The next VR title that was actually shown, this was shown. Ironic, we all thought this was made by Guerrilla Games, but it turns out it was made by Firesprite. Firesprite's been making this, and this is the VR version of Horizon. This is pretty much, it looks like it's on rails. So it's like a one shot. It's not like you're actually going to be moving around. It's like it's on rails. You're going one. You're probably going to be climbing and whatnot, taking advantage of the haptics with the new controllers.
I don't know if it's on rails, but it's definitely linear.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be moving it as much in this one. I don't think.
When she was when the character was climbing in VR, reminded me of like the Vader Oculus Quest VR when I was doing that. Like you're just like climbing with your VR. Like
I don't know why it would be on rails when there's so many other VR games that let you go. I don't know. Linear is different. Like, yeah, you follow a certain path. That's different. But I hope it's not on rails, man. It would probably be a cool
like a House of
experience
the
anyway.
Dead type of
Yeah,
thing.
but-
You got those
yeah.
set moments you can interact. You know what I mean? That's why I said it's probably on rails.
Well, it kind of looked like both, from my perspective on the trailer. Like the beginning when you're in the boat, seems like that's obviously
You're stuck, right?
on rails. Like yeah, you're stuck on the boat, and then later on when it shows you climbing and stuff like that, like yeah, so it could be a mixture of both.
Do you guys have high hopes for it? Is anybody gonna dip into the Horizon pool? With
Big
this
Cloud,
one?
you buying a VR, or do I have to call you out for being a fraud?
What, PSVR? Yeah, actually
Yeah.
might get it. Yeah,
Why? Is it
Actually,
because
might
of
get it, or are you gonna
Resident
get
Evil?
it, Big Cloud?
I already got the Quest, so yeah, I might get
Bro,
this. Yeah,
the Quest. You see how he dances around?
No, I
Big Cloud.
said I might get it. Yeah, might get it.
Damn, the Sony guy might get a PSVR.
Oh, you're gonna start this?
I would get PSVR too. If
I gotta see the
only
price on that
stipulation-
too. We don't even know the pricing on it. We don't really know.
It's gonna be
much
like
on it.
400 bucks, I told
500.
you.
It's 400.
400, Red Hood.
$399.
It might be higher. You never know.
$400, 450 max. You want to put money on that?
450.
Yeah, I would.
450.
I'd be like really shocked if it was higher than 400.
Not
Oh,
five.
you
Just-
can't-
just-
Nobody thinks it's 5.
Bro, how look it. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it would be fucking pretty bad to know that you're buying a VR system that costs more than your console. It just don't people are gonna have a hard time fucking comprehending that, like, wait, I'm buying a VR headset that I'm not gonna use every day. It's not gonna be a daily driver, and I have to spend more money than the damn console. It don't make sense. And dude,
the only reason I would
those
think that is
controllers-
yeah.
those controllers that they're using, I'm not saying they're Quest, they're definitely Quest-like. They're definitely a modern
Inspired, yeah.
VR. Yeah, they're modern VR controllers. So I'm telling you, man, I don't think exactly. But I don't think I think they found ways to save money. All the money's in the actual, OLED screen and all that. Like
The new eye tracking and all that stuff. Yeah, and it's. I mean, one thing I will say about it too, because you know how usually when we see these VR titles, especially with the PS4, they didn't look that great when we were watching them in streams. You know what I mean? They didn't look that great like on screen. They look better when you have the headset. They looked great just from us watching. You know what I mean? But obviously they're gonna look even better when you get the actual headset. So it was definitely a big improvement over what we saw with the PS4 version.
Well, this guy in the chat said PSVR 2 has too many features to be $499 under. What features does it have? An OLED screen? The first PSVR has an OLED screen. Like, what features are we talking about? Haptics? Like, what are we talking about? What features? Dude, whatever.
All right.
I look it. You guys look it. If it's 500, it's 500. But I just don't see.
You know, is it okay? I mean,
I can just
if
see
you-
it-
it's in
VR,
between. It's definitely in
Yeah.
between. It's either gonna be 4 or 450. It's in between that 5 and 400 price tag. for
John
sure.
Benjamin says, I'm a PlayStation guy, but I'm not interested in VR. Look, the PSVR either did two things too. Either, it made you say wow, and it really does. Even with the bad resolution, even with the horrible controls, those control, like everything was, the fact that they got people to buy in, it was the lead seller in terms of VR headsets, like that's huge for Sony because I'm telling you, they made money hand over fist with that shit because those were all like, I feel like they just built the machine out of recycled parts when I look at it. Like, but
Yeah, the move controllers. Oh,
VR
Lord.
is fucking amazing, bro. You gotta give it a chance.
We gotta play some golf again for
Yeah.
sure. It's been a while. We played golf on that Quest.
Hunter, you got a Quest?
I don't. I have a
PSVR.
Well, why? I mean, do I
you
need
rep
a,
Facebook like that? Come on, man, that's crazy.
Do I need a Quest when I've got like at least
I don't know.
50 PSVR games? So
Yeah.
A Quest.
What?
Look, this hurts me to say, but the Quest runs circles around the PSVR in terms of resolution, in terms of clarity, in terms of controls, and
But-
library.
Wait though, because it's
What it-
coming out though. PSVR 2 is coming out next
I mean,
year,
yeah.
right? So
yeah.
shouldn't we just wait at
What
this
about
point?
content though? Because I know that the Quest is just like technically better, but I don't know from a content perspective. Is there like anything that's on Quest that's just not on PSVR 2?
Yeah,
Or
they got a
PSVR?
bunch. They got a lot of.
They got some.
I don't want to say a lot. They got a lot of exclusives that people that really don't even know about. But it's not even.
Okay.
It's more about the resolution. Yeah, the software is always going to be better on the PlayStation side. They're going to get those deals. I'm just saying, like, if for you to experience VR and actually use an actual good controller, and the screen is sharp as hell, dude. Like, it's a sharp screen for that it's incredibly sharp, really. And it's just, you know, Red Hood's over here, you know, talking to imaginary anime friends. He was on that shit for like 2 weeks straight.
Dude, you know who else was? Shout out to
He
Cold.
gonna bring up that shit.
Cold did the same thing.
Cold was addicted, bro. You got him addicted to that.
Yeah,
He was talking to these anime friends like, "Oh, you're so cute." Red Hood's like, "Who knows what he was doing, bro?"
That shit was too funny to me.
Oh god, let's move on, man. Let's move on to pretty much everybody's game of show, because I do want to get right into this, man. This was definitely the game that stole the thunder. It's coming out December 2nd.
Saints and Sinners too.
Cutting.
Oh.
What?
Wait, I thought it was December
The
12th.
game-
Or is it
December 2nd. It's gonna be
Okay.
December 2nd. It's gonna literally launch and cut the momentum. They did that to cut the momentum of Dead Space remake, and I'm still getting that regardless too. But the
Same.
Callisto Protocol was officially shown. This game looks incredible. It's coming out this year. We got more context to the game. It doesn't look like you're gonna have a suit like you will with Isaac. You're kind of starting out like Isaac did in Dead Space 2. You know, like when you're in the straight jacket, you're very like, you know, weak. You don't have no armor on and whatnot. And you're running through the medical lab, and then you finally get a suit. It's basically starting off similar to that in a sense. There's no suits that we saw in the shot. So basically, he's a prisoner. The guy's a prisoner.
in a
He's working
suit,
his
wasn't
way.
he?
Huh? In the trailer, it was like later in the trailer though. It showed it, but it's like you're a prisoner, obviously. So you're starting out in the more secured parts of the ship or the hangar or wherever you're at, and you're working your way up through that to the more less secured areas, so you can get better gear and whatnot. But you're also evading these creatures. I actually might just show the trailer. It looks so good.
But like story wise, it like gives you vibes of like they say the dead moon and stuff like that. It just brings up like the dead space, like those moons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then they said something about like rebirth and all that, kind of like the Scientology with the necromorphs. No, it's was it unitologist or something like that they believed in rebirth through like the necromorph process.
Bro, if
Yeah.
I'm EA,
Got you.
I'm pissed off right now. If I'm EA, I'm
Yeah.
definitely kicking myself in the fucking ass.
I'll
Because,
definitely
you
show
know,
this on the screen.
they're rebooting it. Yeah, it's coming, and I can't wait for Dead Space. It looks incredible. But, you know, they should have been on this bandwagon. You know, they should have been reached out and did this.
But the problem is they freaking took away Visceral. They're like, Visceral
Right.
needs to go make Battlefield Hardline, and then Visceral, you got to go make the Star Wars game with Amy Hennig. Was it Rat Tag or whatever, or Rat Pack? And
Yeah.
then they're like, yeah, we're just gonna, you know, fire everybody there and then just close the studio.
Yeah.
So then they had to give it to EA Motive to remake the first game, and then I'm assuming if that does well, they'll remake Dead Space 2 and maybe even 3. Wouldn't be shocked about that.
Like
But,
just
like-
the way the shots are with the shadows, you know, the way these like creatures are sneaking around corners, it looks so like, and obviously that's not gonna be the only thing you're gonna be hiding from. You guys see this like this
Like robot? Was it
like
a robot?
warden? I guess what they are. Like they keep the prisoners in line, so you probably gotta like sneak around and evade those guys while also evading these creatures. This kind of gives you the Thing vibes because it's kind of like you don't know who's infected. If that makes sense. And like
I'm
they're
not
just
evading
changing-
nobody, baby.
Like, look at
Clapping them
that.
all.
Yeah.
That looks crazy. That looks like Resident Evil type shit, bro.
Yeah.
Really does.
Also,
You know what's
I like
crazy?
how
That
the health is on the back of his neck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Like
well,
that. Nice
I
little
mean, it's a
touch.
big nod from the neck, like from the spine
Necromorphs.
down.
Yeah.
So, but like, I find it crazy that, like, just like the atmosphere, like, I want to even say the art style just feels like Dead Space-esque.
Oh, bro, absolutely. They bring up it's, you know, looking, this is super visceral combat, bro. This is brutal. This is right up my alley. Like, this is the type of games that, like, I love bullet damage. I love gore and blood. I just love it. Like, it's going to be a great game, bro. This is going to sell like hotcakes. I guarantee it.
And it's
Remember
next
when
gen
this
only,
game-
guys.
Remember when this game was supposed to be in the PUBG universe, and then, like, then they had to change and say it's not.
Yep.
Which I was just like, I'm kind of glad that
Yeah, what the
That's
fuck
not-
was that about? The
I don't know. It
PUBG
was weird.
universe?
it It was
Shoot
weird.
yourself in the forehead. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Let's go around. What you guys thought about it, Hunter? What's your thoughts? I know you were quiet on it. What's your
Well,
thoughts?
dude,
on
I'm
Let's Go?
I mean, I agree with what you guys are saying. Like this definitely does feel like a spiritual successor to Dead Space. Like it's got a lot of the hallmarks of that. But I think what was actually most exciting, I don't think they really even got into it much in the trailer or at all. But like in the PS blog, they got into it. But when you actually hear about how they're using the PS5 tech for this game, like man, it just makes it sound even better, right? Because they're going to be using 3D audio, and they said that you're going to be able to like you're going to be able to hear the monsters like all around you screaming. So I'm just imagining like on the other side of the wall, I'm hearing like scurrying and like shrieking and all this like creepy stuff, which is going to be awesome. And then they're even going to be using the like the haptic feedback in the controller, and they were saying like you're actually going to be able to feel like the footsteps of the monsters, right? So you're going to be able to feel that like rumbling in your hands as you get closer. So I don't know, man. Like it's just like it already like the fact that it looks like Dead Space is already like awesome enough, but then throw in all these like new PS5 features that are going to like absolutely immerse you in all this horror. Yeah, man. Like
3D audio, crazy.
So what you guys think though? You think this is the one that's gonna beat out? Like you think this is gonna be the horror game to get in terms of really being scared, or do you think Dead Space remake is still probably gonna take the crown? I mean, it's already established, but you guys,
we can't say that.
Yeah.
We can't.
Are you talking about like what game's
like,
gonna be better, or what game's gonna sell better?
Well, not sell better. I would say the looks department. Like, what you guys think? How the Necromorphs? You think the Necromorphs, the new designs, are gonna outdo?
I need to see more, man.
I mean, it's hard to compare because like we've already played Dead Space, right? So this game is going to be more terrifying and more creepy for sure because we actually have no idea what's coming up, right? Like, at least with Dead Space, like we'll have an idea of like, okay, like this enemy's gonna come and like probably this boss is gonna come, right? Which is gonna somewhat take away from the horror versus the Callisto, where you saw like there's all kinds of like creatures that could just bite your head off at any second there, right? And figuring out like seeing them for the first time is gonna make us all probably.
I like how
jump.
In the trailer, you saw some shots from like Dead Space 2. Yeah, I remember in Dead Space 2 when he gets the plasma cutter, there's like a guy having open heart surgery, but the machine's off, and he has to like get.
That was Dead Space 2.
Yeah, remember he had to like get it, and the dude's heart was like open and exposed, but he was up. And you had to get it. There was a shot in that trailer where you saw somebody on a table similar to it, and this is again, I like the references, like a lot of stuff that was there. Another thing that they showed at this show. And this one right here, I don't really know how I really feel about this. I mean, I'm not really a Street Fighter guy, but the style they went with this was an open world Street Fighter game, basically. Street Fighter 6, we officially saw gameplay of it. The announcement was already done a long time ago. It was at one of those, I forgot what a Capcom event it was.
It was a Capcom like live stream, I think, or something.
Yeah, and all they showed was the logo. But now you see gameplay here. Let me put that on the screen for everybody. I don't even know how I feel personally because I'm not really Street Fighter S, but
dude, you know what was actually most exciting for me is they actually said that they're gonna have like a real-time commentary thing in this game, right? Where you can actually I guess they like hired some big announcers to go on there, and they're actually they're gonna just announce your game as you're playing. Did you see that? Like that actually, like, to me, that's kind of interesting, right? I'm not like, I don't play fighting games as much these days as I used to. I used to be like huge into Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, all those games, like played them all the time. But now I actually watch more fighting games. Like I love watching Evo. I love tuning in and seeing that and kind of bringing that like Evo experience into my own experience with the game. Like I'm pretty excited actually about that part.
Yeah.
The open world just seems funny. It seems like you can like walk up to anybody and be like, yo, dude, like, you want to go? You want to fight? Like,
yeah. When I saw it, I was getting kind of Yakuza vibes, because the way he's like traversing and going through the different parts of the map.
I'm getting NBA 2K vibes.
NBA 2K vibes?
Yeah, what I mean is like everybody has their fighter and like they're at the park and they're like all these fighters are standing around like setting up fights. That's how I see it. That's how I envision it,
Dude, it's friggin' PlayStation Home.
Right.
The fighting edition.
Yeah.
Just walk up to people that are just sitting down on a bench and being like, "Let's do it, man. You're next."
Yeah, good point. That's a good comparison. Anybody all in on this? Anybody interested in this?
The one like good thing about it though, really, like, where we have to like, I think, give them a little kudos for actually being on the ball this time, but like, this actually does seem like it's going to launch with a full set of modes, right? Like, we all know the last Street Fighter game that didn't actually become a full game until a year and a bit after it released, when they finally released, like, you know, the some of the single player content and all that, right? So
yeah, I like the new art style. Like, I know how like beforehand they had like this more old. It felt like an old comic book anime style they were trying to do in the last one. This one actually looks like full blown like animation. Like, they actually went and thought this one through.
Yeah,
like, everything from the particle effects, everything looks really, really sharp. I really do.
You know what I'm actually like surprised about too is that, like, this gen, Sony is like completely in the Square Enix camp, like buying all these exclusives, and then it seems like Capcom and Sony is like super close, but you can tell Sony is like forking out way less money this year or this gen than last gen. Like Street Fighter is coming to Xbox Series, right? That could have been like, I mean, I'm actually happy. I'd prefer to go to more platforms than not, but I mean, like, had they made it exclusive, it would have made PS5 like, you know, the default fighting game console, which is fantastic because they have Evo and they're like all in on the fighting genre and all that. So yeah, I'm just like, I'm kind of surprised actually. Like, I'm really shocked. I thought for sure that game would be exclusive, or at least like maybe like a Final Fantasy VII remake where it's like, you know, it'll come eventually to other consoles, which maybe never actually ends up happening.
They also moving from that, they showed Stray. They've been really pushing this game like crazy. We talked about this on your Twitter space. Because I don't know what combat you're gonna have in this game as this cat. It feels like it's more so like a hide and seek type of thing, where you're just infiltrating and getting information.
It's a game of cat and mouse.
I guess so.
You got to get it properly. It's a game of cat.
What's funny about this, you know, I know a lot of people were holding this game and they were connecting this game with Jim Ryan, because, you know, Jim Ryan has a cat, which was hilarious. So I don't know if that was.
People are so fucking stupid.
I don't know why they were connecting this with.
Because somebody has a fucking cat. Welcome to 90% of people. Like, what do you mean?
It's so funny, but
and it's all because of that, like, because he emailed about his cat, right? Yeah. Which I still think is stupid. Like, who cares? Like, whatever. But yeah.
As far as the game though is concerned, the reason why they're really showcasing this off, if I remember correctly, if you go to the I forgot what you got. You have the essential, you have the
an extra and premium,
and then in premium. I guess if you go to the extra tier, you get this game.
Yeah, anything over standard, which is cool.
You get this game.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's why they're advertising it.
It's not a game, but honestly, like, you can see like the art direction, like it's definitely unique. Like, you don't see games like that, like walking through buildings and little tops. Like, it's cool. Like, I'm sure it'll have a cool little following. But yeah, it's cool that they're giving it out for free. There's an incentive. It's not just retro games and multiplayer. Like, I like that they'll give away a few indie games or whatever. Like, I like that aspect. Like, I hope they keep doing that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Well, dude, you know what? Like, what's so interesting about it though is, like, this is, at least as far as I'm aware, it's the second Sony just recently had a game that just dropped like day one on PlayStation Plus. I think actually, sorry, maybe it's the third, because I think Fall Guy also dropped day one on PlayStation Plus. But like, it does actually seem pretty cool, because we know that Sony's not going to have their first party games on the PlayStation Plus day one. There's no reason for them to do that, of course, but the fact that you're going to get some of these cool third-party indie games, right? Like, Sony already always shows a few indie games in their shows, right? Like, maybe Little Devil Inside's going to be free on PlayStation Plus, right? Like, that's actually kind of cool, man. Like, it's a good little perk that that PlayStation fans never had before.
Big Cloud, you're all over the place today, though. Like, you were like doing Resident Evil, you did the VR, then you just skipped. Probably the best VR game they showed.
I'm going to it right now.
Okay.
Look at you. Look, he's so eager. He's so eager to talk about this game.
I'm not eager, but I'm just saying, don't, you know what I mean?
He's so eager. I'm going to put it on the screen.
Big Cloud, I don't eat at McDonald's and then talk about Wendy's.
Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners. was the other VR title that was shown for the PlayStation 5 here at the showcase. This right here was awesome. It looked really, really good for what it was. When I first saw it, I didn't even know what this game was at first. A lot of people were saying Dying Light in the chat when we first started seeing this, and then you start seeing more context, start seeing them go around the corners, creep around and whatnot. One thing I learned from Blaze, though, Blaze played. He said that this game is not really linear. If I remember correctly, you said it's very open.
Not at all.
Not open.
Bro, quest lines are. You have quest lines. You can. You basically can do what you want. Like, you really feel like you're in this, post-apocalypse. Yo, the thing is, like, you have a quest from this girl, and she's like, hey, can you get me some rations and food? I'll give you this key to this mansion, and, I think they have some good loot and weapons in there. So I'm, like, looking, as she's talking, I'm like, man, I just take out my gun because it's VR, and I point it. She's like, whoa, what are you doing? And I just pull the trigger.
You just kill the guy.
I shoot the girl in the head. She falls. I just take the key. Fuck the quest. Fuck getting your food. I just took her key. I went on the map. I found this house. I opened the door. I went upstairs to the attic. Bro, the most interactive game I've ever played. One of the most interactive games. When you're the melee, when you stab zombies, you can stick a screwdriver or a knife in their head, pull it out, hear the blood splatter, stick it back in their other eye, pull it back out.
Wait,
it's the most.
Yeah,
bro. Hunter, by the way, chat, they gave this game out for free on PS Plus, I believe, a few months back. So
yeah.
I suggest to play it there. If you have no other choice, it's a fucking awesome game. It starts a little slow, but it's awesome.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. The thing I liked, I played it as well, and what I liked about it is just it's almost like a killer app, I would say, for VR.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's one of those like you have to play it type things for VR, but
yes.
But the other thing too is like it's actually like a full size game. Okay, and it sounds kind of funny to say, but like a lot of VR games just don't feel the same as like a mainline Resident Evil game or whatever, right? In terms of like the amount of content, but this game is like it's a full meaty, like different zones, like different ways to do the quest, like you're saying. But the other thing too, man, is it's like utterly brutal, which is
it's bad.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So I'm actually I'm super excited about this number 2 that's coming out.
It's so cool because you can meet different NPCs and they're just talking and like, hey, you need but you can do what you want. If you want to just fuck shit up and just shoot their partner, like they'll get into cover, like and like they'll hunt you down. Like it's just, I really like that, man. The freedom to do what you want at when you want. Like you're climbing houses, finding. It's just a really great game. I really suggest if you have PSVR. And look, the thing with PSVR is it's a pain in the ass to set up, right? You get all these wires, especially if you bought the first edition of the VR, there was no pass-through HDR on the break box. So I ended up buying the second VR. So now I have 2 PSVRs just so I didn't have to unplug the fucking thing every time, Now if I want to play a regular game with HDR, I had to unplug it or I wasn't getting any pass-through, So I suggest you play this game. Like it was free. Everybody probably downloaded it, whether you owned VR or don't. Trust me, play that game. You'll thank me later.
Okay. The next title that was shown at this show, this is the one that Red Hood was over the moon for, Eternites.
Oh, dude, that was the one I told you.
It's the JRPG
man.
action meshed with like a dating sim.
Oh god,
dude,
holding each other's
dude,
hands.
I literally got. Listen, I
100%
literally got
that.
our boy Merc to potentially stream the game, and he's definitely gonna do it. Actually,
He's gonna.
it seems like
he's
it.
gonna
Merc,
stream
yeah,
this?
yeah. He was trying to get a cop out, and it's like, oh, is it coming to PC? And then I pulled it up during the stream. He's like, shit. I was like, yes, sir.
One of the things that was actually like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Like I saw a tweet, and it's probably what you're about to say was that this person was inspired by Persona 5, and then like he finished. Then he played Persona 4 Gold and Persona 3 Fez, and then quit his job and made this game.
Totally. That's what I was saying in the Twitter space yesterday. Like, it just absolutely reminds me of Persona, which looks awesome. And the thing that was actually like pretty interesting about this too is I think it was actually like one of the only games that they announced at that State of Play that it is actually a PlayStation console exclusive. It's coming out to PS4, PS5, and PC.
Yep.
Yeah, like I think pretty much everything else was multi-platform on console. So, but yeah, man, I'm pretty excited. I just think I like that anime style. I like the fact that it's like this post-apocalyptic world, and there's all these different survivors that you can romance and date. I know probably some of you are cringing, but hey, man, like, I don't know. I like playing all kinds of games.
You know,
Man,
Sony's
you
gonna
get to hold hands, bro.
So
You gotta
Sony's
hold-
gonna
yeah,
Sony's
man.
gonna fucking
That's what I was saying, dude. That's what I told you.
bro. Sony's gonna
There's actually a little
decenter it,
prompt.
man. It's gonna
Press
be whack.
R2 to hold
gonna
hands.
press R2.
you see places like they're gonna censor it. Nobody,
Dude, I was
Sony's gonna
like-
censor it. Like
wasn't-
I
I
want
wasn't
like whole
live streaming
press
when I saw
R2
the
to ride
R2.
my shit, bro.
When I saw the R2, I did the whole hand clapping thing, man. I was like, yeah, R2.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Now if there's like, hey, hit R1 plus X to
Oh boy.
Oh God, here we
This
go.
guy is going wild already.
Yeah, man, it just looks good.
Oh
It's
yeah.
good. I can't wait. I
Jesus
think
Christ.
when's it coming out? It's like early next year or something.
2023. There's not a specific.
2023.
Date,
Oh, okay.
The next game I was gonna bring up, this game right here reminded me of Jet Set Radio Future. Very,
you're
very
talking-
cool. It's called Rollerdrome.
Look, dude, it looks better than this rollerblade game that just recently came out.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Actually,
Very
yeah,
creative
you're
art style.
No, it's true. Actually, yeah. I never thought about that, but yeah, you're right. I'm actually not. I haven't played the new Ubisoft game, but this one certainly seemed more at my style for sure. Like, I like Ollie World, and it's got the same graphics, so that's already like a huge plus for me.
Oh, is that shooter with the rollerblades?
Yep.
Yeah.
No,
Bro,
Cassie said
Max
it's Tony
Payne,
Hawk's,
Max
pro
Payne on
shooter.
rollerblades, bro.
It is
That
really
was Max,
cool.
bro. You can shoot those blood and shit. I hey, that looked pretty cool.
But I couldn't tell. Like, this game is multiplayer, right?
I'm not
I don't know,
sure.
maybe.
I don't think
Like,
they
with
even said it.
yeah, like the trailer showed what looked like a lot of NPC like enemies that, right? Just a bunch of enemies around.
I don't think it will be, honestly. I don't know.
Unless
like
there's
maybe
like, I don't know. Score.
Yeah, I don't know,
Like
maybe-
a score ranking system or something like that with leaderboards. I don't know.
it kind of looked like kind of like a sports strategy game where it's like you have like a certain amount of bullets and you've got like 4 enemies that you got to race
Yeah.
around and kill. While
Super
you're doing your
Hot meets Tony Hawk. That's what it is.
Hey man, that sounds good to me.
August 16th.
I'm
August
actually
is-
like really shocked that game got announced too, because like Ollie World just came out in what, February, right?
Yeah. To the
Mhm.
second one, yeah.
Yeah, like this dev team's like pretty efficient because it's a small indie team too, right?
Yeah. They announced Season a Letter, if I remember correctly. That was another game that was showcased there. Do I have gameplay for it? I didn't show.
did you talk about Spider-Man?
Get
Yeah,
into
Season's
that
a Letter
right
to the Future.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one seemed all right. Like I don't really know much. I didn't actually like dig into what Season was all about, but
It's more like a narrative-based game, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can find the gameplay. Here it is. I found it. Season on the left.
I don't know, man. It just seems like one of those games where, you know what? Like I'd probably play Season between the Callisto Protocol and Dead Space, right? It's kind of
Yeah.
like one of those games where I just want like I've just murdered like 1,000 aliens and now I just want to like chill out, just relax.
Yeah, like game just let the time go by type of thing. For sure.
Yeah, because I don't know, it just seemed like totally laid back. Like I think there were scenes of this woman on a bike. I guess you just like bike around nature and talk to old people. I don't know. That's what it looked like to me.
Shout out to the crazy Lou. What's up, Lou? It's the Psycho Lou. Moving on to the announcement, I guess me. Oh Lord, me and Hunter had to
Storm, essentially.
talk about, but it was a lot of people who were either stunned or felt like they got punched in the gut, even though we've been saying this for a long time, especially when we look at something
dude.
simple as metrics.
You're talking about Spider-Man.
Yes, sir. When Sony announced they got a 250% return on investment, you knew stuff was going to continue to go to PC.
I didn't realize, but they had a prediction for their forecast that was it for revenue for PC? That's supposed to be like 300 mil or something like that.
Yep.
Now it makes absolute sense as to why they had that forecast.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like they wanted to. I think it was like they wanted to triple their their PC revenue, in the next year. So
yeah,
makes total sense. Well, especially since they said that not only is Spider-Man Remastered coming, but also Miles Morales is coming.
Yeah,
in the fall for Miles, and then remasters and.
Weird though. They weren't really open as much, right? Like
it's August and then the fall.
Yeah, they didn't really say, like, they didn't even show Miles as much. You know what I mean? In the trailer.
You know what? My thought process: PlayStation Showcase, they'll have
think
a trailer for it, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't. The trailer that they showed was just for Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was.
There was only like a little like footnote in their like PS blog. They're like, oh yeah, by the way, Miles Morales. I think they're probably like, I don't know, they're gonna have another big announcement showing the trailer for that game soon.
Which is crazy. Also, to think about it, that's Nixus's first PlayStation game, for them to port it to PC.
Yep. Yeah. One thing I will say, like, dude, I'm pretty excited about that game coming to PC. I love when these awesome games get to go to a larger audience. But the one thing I will say too is, like, I actually really do hope that in Sony's future states of plays, that they limit the amount of PC stuff, because like they actually did a pretty good job. Because I think the Spider-Man was only like a 1 minute or whatever, right?
Yeah, it was like really short.
Yeah, it was like.
But it's becoming a trend now, because remember the last one? That's where they announced Uncharted.
Oh, that's the PlayStation Showcase. They announced it.
Yeah. But I think that was also a short trailer too. The thing is, I just like, I don't. If we're gonna get like 25-30 minutes of a state of play, I don't want 5 or 10 of that to be like, oh, we're porting this to PC, because it's like, woo, like. Kind of like, who cares? Like, it's good. Wow, cool, awesome. More people can play it. But as like a PlayStation dude, of course we've already played it, right? So yeah. So because there's gonna be a lot more coming to PC, man. Like,
oh yeah, I mean the leaks, they're leaks already. Like the Sackboy setting, as well as Returnal.
Returnal's coming, and like
no talks to Returnal.
Even Soul is supposedly coming at some point. Like
games like Returnal, I'm excited to go to PC, because again, the game maxed out.
The game absolutely will do well.
Yeah,
why is the Dreams like? I'm surprised Dreams hasn't gone. That's
true too.
It's just weird to me, because like they could, like, that game just seems it's almost dead. Like there's a small like niche audience for that game, but like, I don't know, man. Like they could have revived it if they brought it to PC like a year and a bit ago.
Yeah.
I would imagine the PC audience would be all over that.
Yeah, I think it would thrive in the PC space, like maybe for a while too. Because like a lot of people like creating stuff, a lot of people like creating mods and all this.
Absolutely.
So I don't see why they don't do that as soon as possible. It seems like they're just like really just waiting to do that. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems weird. Media Molecule, I don't know what they're doing these days.
No, nobody does. Like they win a lot of awards. They win a lot of awards from BAFTA and stuff, right?
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. When I already knew this was happening, because we're getting ready to get Spider-Man 2 in 2023. Remember, I said this with you guys. I was like, it's only a matter of time before we get this announcement to, I guess, get more eyes on Spider-Man 2, because, everybody's been asking for it on PC for this one. But one thing about this wait time, you guys are seeing it get significantly less and less. You know what I mean? The drops to PC. So, again, man, Sony's going to be taking those steps. A lot of people need to prepare themselves. A lot of people might not like it, but guess what? They're getting all this. They're getting crazy returns on investment. Plus, if you guys, again, what's funny about it too, I see a lot of people bring up Sony's financials. They try to use this on Twitter for arguments. They're talking about, hey, Sony's going to make this acquisition. Hey, Sony bought this amount of money. They made this amount of money over Xbox. I'm sitting going, yeah, how did they do that? You think it's all PlayStation? On
console? Also the thing is like, why do they do this? They're making already a lot of money as is. It's like they're also doing it because all companies want to make more money than what they've made previously. It's always that angle that if they make like $2 billion this year, they want to make $3 billion, $4 billion more, and all this stuff. So it's like as a business, you always want to grow, and there's not going to be a stopping point for growing.
Pretty much. And they've a lot of people don't like Jim Ryan and his approach. You know, they prefer the old school approach. We talked about this in the Twitter space over there with Hunter, but it was a good point we brought up. You know, the old versus new. Remember that, Hunter? The old versus new. The philosophy of how they went about it. It was a different time where Sony would throw stuff at a wall, it felt like, right? And whatever sold, and the other games kind of would just die or fizzle out. This is a different time. Sony's not going to just do that. They're going to be very strategic and smart about things. So when you see all of them doing, like, when you see like Sony revamping PS Plus and whatnot, and games going to be thrown in there, old school games in the service, there's a lot of things a lot of people need to pay attention to, and that's metrics. Sony's going to be paying attention to what games are actually getting played. You know what I'm saying? So if they hear people talk about, like, for example, this podcast, let's say they hear us talk about Dino Crisis, for example, and Dino Crisis ends up being a crazy, well-played game over there on the service. They're going to look at those metrics and go, damn, okay, 4 million, 5 million people actually played Dino Crash, you know, maybe we should hit up Crash. You know what I mean? Maybe we should hit them up and say, hey, you know, let's get that remake going and really get some eyes on it. Or they'll look at them old school games like Sly Cooper. Maybe Sly Cooper does.
Well, I totally get that mindset too. I mean, like, one of the things that people always bring up when they are hating on Jim Ryan is the fact that he, like, supposedly him, I'm sure it was a group decision, but supposedly him closed down Japan Studio, right? Which is like one of their longest running and like most beloved studios. And like, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I'm not sure like how I feel about that situation, because like on the one side, I love games like Eco and Shadow of the Colossus,
Gravity Rush,
and Gravity. Yeah, like they made some of the best PlayStation games, right?
Dude, I like Soul Sacrifice as well from them, from PS Vita.
Yeah, but did they make the like massive critical hits for Sony?
It was a lot of niche games. It was
maybe Shadow of the Colossus was relatively big, but aside from that, it was all like, even the Last Guardian, right? Like, I don't know, man. Like,
well, they were under Japan Studio, Hunter, but like they were actually a separate team within Japan Studio, right? The Ico team and stuff like that, and their director, right? And then he left right after. He would. I don't know if it was the same situation, because he made Shadow of the Colossus and Eco, and then he was doing the Last Guardian, and then it just became like a really bad like development process. And I forgot if he just became a contractor at that point. Then he left.
He was a contractor for a little while, and then just left, and now he's doing like
he's supposed to be making a new game.
But that's just it, man. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's
like,
a
slippery slope. It's a lot of, you know what I mean? There's a lot of ways you can interpret it and go with it based off of their style.
Even wasn't even Knack.
Yeah.
They did Knack, and they did the Puppeteer. I think the Puppeteer was also Japan Studio. So I don't know, man. It's like, it's weird, because like I always felt Japan Studio like really rounded off Sony, right? Where it's like their other studios gave you like the core, like the God of Wars, the Twisted Metals, the racing games, like Wipeout and all that fun stuff, and then Japan Studio was always like the weird, interesting, quirky things. But dude, at some point somebody at Sony was just like, this just not making money, man.
Yeah, I mean, again,
like fans love it, and it's good for our like brand perception, but it's not making money.
Right. It just doesn't have the pull that they were hoping it was going to have. And that's why I said before, like, a lot of people just want Sony to just keep throwing stuff out there, throwing these IPs out here to die. I remember Resistance really started to get its feet, you know what I mean? Like, it really started to get a little attraction after the first one. After 2, you remember how quick the third one came out and it just died afterwards?
Yeah, it didn't sell that well.
Yeah, it's like, bro, like, that was the thing. They were just throwing out stuff that just they knew sold. Now they're guaranteeing stuff that sells, and plus they're making their return. So it's, you know.
Plus it's also a safety net. Like, games coming to PC, like, if the game doesn't do well, and they could just put it to PC.
Right. Watch SOCOM, Resistance, like I've been telling you guys multiple times, be in this service. You're going to see it get those features, those trophies and whatnot, and you're going to see them look at those metrics, and then those games are going to come out. But they're, you know, Sony's being very strategic about it. It's understandable. I'm not worried about it at all. And if I'm not upset, you shouldn't be upset either. I'm going to tell you why. Because let's face it, who was playing Spider-Man in this chat? I don't think any of you guys were playing Spider-Man 2018 anymore. that you guys have already beaten it and moved on to other stuff. Now, if you are a Spider-Man dedicated channel and you probably look for Easter eggs or you do all stuff like that, like for example, Evan Falarka, shout out to Evan, you probably still playing it, or you're probably still looking at stuff, or maybe you're just covering news on the game and you use gameplay from Spider-Man, right? All the Spider-Man games. Even you gotta admit, you're not really getting no more content out of Spider-Man.
True.
It's done.
Yeah.
It's done. Now you're waiting for the next big thing, and that is Spider-Man 2. And guess what? On top of that, you're waiting for another one, which is Wolverine. So it's all the dudes saying they're done with Spider-Man, they're done with this, that, or they're done with Sony, they're done with all this. You're not. You're not. As soon as the Spider-Man 2 is revealed, guess what? You know what they're going to do? Xbox sucks. Don't buy an Xbox. Hey, Xbox, they got no game. It's going to be the same conversation you see in every Twitter space, YouTube video, the whole 9 yards. That's why I said again, dudes who run their mouths on here and act like they got all the answers need to chill, because they don't, and they run their mouths way too much. They act like they speak for you and me, and when stuff like this happens, when they get caught out in this, you know, when the facts come at them, right, when they go, oh, it's not going to happen the way y'all say it's going to happen. When it happens, y'all notice Twitter was dead silent. Y'all can hear a pin drop on Twitter when Spider-Man was announced to go to PC. And then you had dudes going after Insomniac, bringing up old tweets from Insomniac, saying, oh, you guys
to be fair,
happen.
To be fair, I think it was also, though, like, was it some PlayStation fans doing that? Yeah. But was it majority, like, Xbox fans also doing that? Like, absolutely. Xbox fans were like, oh, look at you said this. It's like, yeah, at that time frame, because they had no plans. Yeah. PlayStation as a company had no plans for putting their games on PC. So I don't know why you're going to call them out. Since 2017, I was just like, that was just dumb. It was
exactly.
Like, we're
going into, like, but this is what I'm talking about. This is why dudes, like, they take those screenshots, they take those type of comments, and they'll save them and use them as ammo. But then when it backfires, oh, they want to go at them. Like, dog, things change. The business changed. The market has changed. It's not about just exclusives anymore. It's about engagement numbers and metrics. That's why they changed their whole mindset. And that's why we keep talking about metrics and numbers. That's why you hear Game Pass constantly being conversations. It's a different conversation now. And dudes need to understand that. And the sooner they understand that, the sooner you will realize that half the stuff you see on Twitter, like I seen dudes legit cry. Grown men cry about Spider-Man going to PC. And I'm sitting here like bamboozled. I'm like, what are you crying about? Were you playing it yesterday? Were you playing it last week or the week before that? No. So where's your attachment to this game? Half these dudes who act like they're so emotional about this game don't even platinum.
It's not even attachment to the game. It's like
bragging rights.
Exactly.
They put like their heart and soul into this plastic PlayStation box.
Yes.
That's all it is, right? But the one thing I just wanted to add to, though, is like I totally get, you know, the closing down Japan studio was obviously a bad thing for Sony, but the good thing, like the positive thing though, is if you notice, like it seems like as soon as they dropped their investment in Japan, they have like ramped up significantly, investing in indie games and supporting indie developers, and a lot of these like really like interesting, unusual, quirky type games that Japan Studio is making. Like now we're sort of getting that from the indies, right? They were supporting Bug Snacks, which is just like the weirdest game. Like we had Anno Mutation N that just came out. There was like Fist, you know, that game that just came out. There's Salt and Sacrifice that just came out. Stray, like come on, man, like Stray. It's a game about a cat. Where you have to hide. Like it's totally like on brand for things that Japan Studio would make, right? So I think that's what Sony did. Sony was like, look, like these games we know don't make a heck of a lot of money, so we're out of that business, but we're gonna support and we're gonna prop up developers that want to make these more like niche titles, and we'll give them the platform. Like State of Play.
Exactly. Shout out to Crazy Lou, man. I just saw this. Shout out to Lou. My bad, brother. He says, panel question, aren't you tired of Resident Evil 4? They should have remade Code Veronica or Resident Evil 0. What's your thoughts? I think we talked about that earlier. We're all in for Code Veronica, absolutely. 4, you know, I would be with you in terms of playing Resident Evil 4 again, if I hadn't seen what I seen at that showcase. It's darker, it's more grittier, it's more grounded. That is what I wanted in Resident Evil 4. And this one right here, I'm perfectly fine with it. But think about this. If this is what we're getting for 4, imagine what you're going to get for Code Veronica. You know what I mean? And how much more darker that's going to be with this type of skin, this new skin that they're doing with their games. So I'm on board with either one, to be honest with you. It's that good.
And I feel like I was different, and Big Cloud knows it. I didn't care for 4 like that. I wasn't a big 4 fan. And just because it was more campy and very, like, you're doing suplexes and drop kicks and all this stuff, I was just like, I didn't care for it like that. And seeing everything that they've been doing with RE2 Remake, now doing RE4 Remake, I'm fine with them making it way darker. Yeah. And having the storyline even different than what it was originally. So I'm very happy for RE4 Remake. But yeah, I hope next game they do Code Veronica. But I don't know. They might do 5 and 6. I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah.
By that.
Okay. You want to add anything to that, Hunter? Chat?
No, just that I agree. I think they're gonna remake like all the main numbers up to 7, like, or up to 6, like, so that, you know, they've taken care of all that, and then
move the franchise forward with the new story.
Yeah, like there's a chance. I totally want them to revisit 0 and Code Veronica. Like, absolutely. I think that I'd rather have Veronica than 5 or 6 personally. Yeah, sure. So I seriously hope that they do that, but it just kind of makes sense. Like, remake 1, remake 2, remake 3. Like, there's a pattern that's going on here, right? So I feel like some of these other, like, offshoot titles, like, maybe eventually will get remade, but.
And let me touch on that, Alan. That's a good point, Alan, because you know how, like, dudes like to say it's anti-consumer. Sony putting games on PC. You know, these weird takes of anti-consumerism. Listen, and then they go, "Oh, I speak for you. I want the best for PlayStation. If you want the best for PlayStation, how come I don't see you calling out Sony for its refund policy? How come I didn't see you talk about Sony when the price hike was a thing?
How is it anti-consumer? Like,
wanting games to go to PC.
I can't even wrap my head around that. How is it anti-consumer?
Exactly. Like, dudes are ridiculous at this point.
Hey, well, you know what's crazy? And I thought about this yesterday was when this game, Spider-Man Remastered goes to PC, I can play that shit on my Steam Deck, and I didn't even realize that I could just play it on the go, like with God of War and all that, which is crazy to me. Like, on the go, it's like that's why people like consider Steam Deck like a Vita successor, spiritual successor in a way.
Exactly. And yeah, I'm with you, Alex. It should be like Steam, where you play it, there's like a select time of, that you can play it. And if you enjoyed it or whatnot, then you get your refund.
I agree with that one too.
That should have been it for the game.
Well, dude, I mean, like, the thing is too, is that, like, just like what you're saying, right? I mean, like, a lot of PlayStation fans also have a PC, and it can actually benefit us, right? Like, I'm in the same boat as you, man. Like, when sure, Sony is like double dipping because I'll probably end up getting it on PC as well, right? And a lot of people, I think, will end up buying it on PlayStation and on PC. Yep. But I mean, like it actually makes me happier as a PlayStation fan.
Yeah.
I've already played it. I'm never gonna play it on my PlayStation again because I've already beat the hell out of that game and I played it so much. But having it on Steam where I can have a new experience, like, I don't have my Steam Deck yet, but hopefully by the time August rolls around, it's going to be here.
Steam Deck, dude, like, the house shit. Look at you.
Yeah, man. Just to be able to play it on PC, like, see all the new features on PC and have it on my Steam Deck, like, that's worth it, man. It makes me even, like, happier as a PlayStation fan that it came to another platform.
See you later,
So,
Rob.
yeah, man, I don't get the whole anti-consumer.
In a weird way, the Steam Deck's become Sony's Vita successor.
Yeah, that's what I said. Spiritual successor in a way, right?
Yeah, without
totally
having to invest.
We were talking before about they should eventually have their own, like, PlayStation Steam Deck, but I guess they don't need to now. We'll just get the games on Steam, and that's our Vita.
Yeah, I get that for sure. You said the link doesn't work for the Discord. That's weird. Hold on. Sorry about this intermission. My apologies for that if it doesn't work.
So shocked to see like quite a bit of people streaming it, like big streamers streaming the state of play. Like yeah, like Asmongold streaming it and all that. Maximilian dude was also streaming it as well. So we're shocked that quite a bit of people showed up for it.
You know what's wild too about the state of play? Because I remember, and shout out to Insomniac. Insomniac was very open. I don't know if you saw it, Hunter, before the state of play went live. But they were like, "Hey guys, we're doing I think they said a watch party. You guys can join our server and watch it with us." That's what they said. And
I feel like they've done that. To be fair, I feel like they do that with all the state of play.
Oh, do they? Okay, because I'm like, yeah, they because I'm wondering if they were taking questions on the whole thing. But at the same time, again, everybody who's played Spider-Man 2018 and knows how good it was, right? You want more people on that. You want that game to go further. You want Insomniac to make the MCU. You want that. So I'm not worried.
They'll do a better job with the MCU than what the MCU is currently.
Yeah. Square Enix after the travesty that was the Avengers game that we got.
Well, dude, it's the franchise is like almost certainly going to pass 40 million by end of year. Like it's amazing. It's at 33 million already, and then we're gonna have the PC launch.
The PC like that will be the biggest like in terms of sales for PlayStation on PC.
Oh yeah,
because Horizon so far the biggest, right? It's like a 2-something million on PC.
Something. Yeah.
So it definitely will.
Yeah, like I think the both Spider-Mans will at least do 1 mil out of the gate. They'll do way more than Horizon eventually, but they're gonna do at least 1 mil out of the gate, and then so that's already like 35 mil. And then as we know, like the holiday season is coming up, and Sony expects a lot more stock of PlayStation 5 to come in.
Yeah,
almost everyone who buys that buys Miles Morales and Spider-Man Remastered and all that. So
that's what's funny. Like again, this whole moment, like, oh, I'm done with PlayStation. I'm upset. As soon as Spider-Man 2 comes, this conversation is going to be like we never had it, because this is going to be the same rinse and repeat. When Wolverine drops, it's going to be the same rinse and repeat. When SOCOM drops, it's going to be the same rinse and repeat. Resistance drops, the Callisto Protocol. You see what I'm saying? It's like it doesn't matter what it is. This whole conversation falls on deaf ears because it means nothing. And I see many people not understanding that, and it's sad.
The funny thing is like, do these people even think that we care? Like I see people on Twitter all the time like, that's it, like this is my last PlayStation, I'm going PC.
Like,
and
okay, bye.
I'm like, does literally anybody care? Why would I don't even know who you are, dude. Like what are you doing?
Yeah,
what are you doing tweeting?
I said that before. If you're done with PlayStation,
who cares, man?
Be done with PlayStation. Okay, fine.
I'll buy a PC regardless.
Go buy your PC. And funny thing about that, these dudes saying I'm buying PC. We know that's cap. You ain't about to go buy another piece of hardware, especially when something as simple as a driver update can screw up your experience. Like, stop. You ain't about to do this.
Dude, yeah, actually, that's actually a good point, man. I should make I won't do it because I don't have the energy, but I should make a little memo like, so and so said they're done with PlayStation. I bet you if I checked in like 8 years time when PlayStation 6 comes out, these same people are the first people in line, right?
Yep.
Yes.
They're gonna be the first ones on Twitter to, oh my god, I got a PlayStation 6.
When a PS5 Pro drop, oh, they're gonna be, who needs a PC? Yeah. I got a PS5
You gotta do like one of those like how like, you know, where you compare the two tweets where it was like how it was, how it's going, right?
Hunter, you should see
before, after.
Ditching PlayStation and then them purchasing their PlayStation 6.
Dude, but on the opposite end of the spectrum, Blaze made a parody video, and then somebody's like, look at this grown man cry, and then Rev had to say something on Twitter. So you do realize he has like all the platforms and a really good PC. And I was just like, it's weird that people also take like satire like so literal. And it's just like sad.
Hunter, it's like a 30-second video, and I'm just like, you know, you guys stole my fucking game from my car, like. Yeah. You know, and a lot of people laughed because they knew, you know, what time
it was a joke. Yeah, it was a joke.
And dude, it's a joke, but I do love Sony and I do prefer them. But at the same time, dude, nobody's mad pro. Like, you know, I'm good. Trust me. Like, I got. You guys
know that like that website Hard Drive, right? Harddrive.net.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a satire.
It's the Onion of video games, right? Mm-hmm. I have like, I'm pretty much done like tweeting out their stuff because I've tweeted out their stuff a few times, and like nobody can recognize satire. It just blows my mind. Like I'll tweet this stuff out, and like usually like my metrics on Twitter are pretty good, but it's like the day I tweet that out is like the day I actually lose a couple of followers, and people like tweeting me like there's like 50 people angry like oh blah 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 blah. I'm like, dude, it's the hard drive.
Yeah. Dudes complaining about screws. Remember that? Dudes like, oh, I'm gonna go to PC gaming, but they want to complain about removing a screw from the hard drive of the PS5.
Yeah, and people were like complaining because they're like, oh, I follow you on Twitter because like all you do is pump out news, and like when you like randomly throw in a hard drive article at like, you know, I think it's still news, and I'm like, holy, like, do these people not have any sense of humor, and are they brainless as well?
I think so.
Because like whenever I read a hard drive headline on Twitter, like I don't think they've ever fooled me. I've never actually like read one and be like, was that real? Oh my god, because like they're so over the top stupid. they're just so dumb. But yeah, man, like the internet just can't handle satire. Like it's pretty sad. I think I might actually tweet out occasionally hard drive, but I'm definitely going to have to do like a follow-up tweet right after and just be like, oh, by the way, guys, this is a joke. Okay, don't take it seriously. Don't get mad at me. Have a laugh. Smile.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not the end of the world. And what's up, Dash? You said as long as it's not day and date. I mean, we talked about that also in your Twitter space, possibly. You brought that up. I don't know, man. It's getting lower. It feels like that wait time. I don't know. It's getting close. It's getting dangerously short. Is it going to be day and date? Who knows? But like I said, and I'm going to stand by. I'm going to stand on my square. I would be surprised by the end of this generation we don't have day and date of some sort.
Well,
I think for online
games,
centric games, like absolute, like,
that's what
like let's say a SOCOM
yeah.
or something. Like
Okay.
I definitely see it day and date, because why wouldn't you? It doesn't make sense. Not
that makes
to
sense. That'd be a good way.
Totally.
for the crossplay, right?
That makes sense.
Like Deviation Games, whatever they're making, Haven Studios, whatever they're making, like.
Because you're not going to make the next Call of Duty by being limited to the PS5. You're just not going to do it.
I mean, like at the absolute minimum, Bungie, which is now part of PlayStation, will have day and date.
Yep.
Like all their games will come out on PC day one. So
Yep.
I think Sony will just kind of get in the mindset, well, it's like, oh, well, if like Destiny 3 is day and date on PC, then why can't this other Sony game be day and date on PC? And then why can't that other one be day and date? Like, just the thing is, like, everyone just needs to get over this.
Yeah.
Just get over it.
Enjoy your games.
The games are going to go to PC. The games might eventually, some of them might be day and date.
Yep.
But it doesn't take out of your experience.
It doesn't.
Basically the gist of it.
Exactly. And
this announcement doesn't stop.
If
That
this
this is
do
the
not
best
want to
time.
own a PlayStation console as much, then by all means buy a PC and play those games on PC.
And plus, like, people think like, oh, if they port the game on PC, then like their attention's going to be diverted. But hey, they have Nexus, so that's And plus, they're probably going to staff up on Nexus quite a bit, beef them up for them to do a bunch of ports.
And look at it like this: does Spider-Man going to PC take away the fact that this is the best Spider-Man game that we ever had on console?
No, hell no.
No. No. Does this take away from the fact that in 2023 we're about to have a second coming of that particular style of game?
No.
No.
Oh.
Does that stop the fact that Wolverine is going to drop, and Wolverine is going to also potentially take the throne in terms of gore and over the topness? I'm doing a wishful thinking one there, but still, no.
Totally.
Does take it away. So there you guys go. That was the state of play. I thought it was awesome. I enjoyed the hell out of it. It definitely opened up a lot of eyes, and it definitely showed who's in this for gaming and who's not in this for gaming and just wants to use this for noise. It was one of those type of shows. There's a lot of great announcements, a lot of stuff to be excited for. August is going to be good. You got December to look forward to with Callisto Protocol, Resident Evil next year in March. You got confirmation for the VR title in Horizon. Plus, you got a free update in Horizon. We didn't even talk about that, the new performance mode where they fixed the jankiness and the sharpness of the screen. They fixed that. There's a lot of stuff here. New Game Plus for the hard mode and new
There's
trophies.
even new trophies. Yeah.
Yep.
And
So
supposedly the performance visual fidelity. So that I don't know if that fixed the shimmering, like the performance had shimmering. So
they said
I'm
it
assuming
fixed it. A
did.
lot of people said they fixed it. Yeah.
They said that they fixed that, but the good thing to note too is like that was a pretty damn good state of play, and that was not even first party aside from the Horizon.
Yeah, no showcase.
That's
like,
the scary
that
part.
That was like strictly just indie titles and third party games. Like that's it. Like, dude, we're getting God of War. Like, man,
God of War. I've been saying it. That's going to be a Summer Game Fest.
Yeah, that's either going to be Summer Games Fest or Game Awards. Either one of those two shows. But
oh no, it won't be Game Awards.
Game Awards is in December.
Game Awards.
Oh
is
wait,
December.
okay. So
no. It's either gonna be Summer Game Fest or they're gonna have like a showcase event.
Did anybody make a tweet about it? Did anybody make a tweet about it? They go.
But the other thing too that we can like absolutely guarantee is
my videos all over Twitter, bro. Like
I know, I saw
thousands and thousands of fucking bro. People are so mad, bro. It's so hilarious, bro.
This is on your Twitter. I gotta check it out, man.
No, it's on my YouTube channel, but people took my video and they're like, "Oh, you mad, bro? Yo,
man.
that shit's blowing up right now, dude. Holy fuck,
dude! I gotta take a look after the show. This
you want me to put it on the stream? I can put it on the stream. You want?
Oh, do it, yeah.
Bro, the thing people gotta understand is like. They bit that bait so well, and it's just great. I love, dude. There's people with 20-page paragraphs on my YouTube channel. It's hilarious, bro.
That shit got
man.
Okay, I found it. All right,
weird
so
that
this
people
is
can't take satire. Jeez. This
is on Blaze 4K's channel. His channel's featured on mine. You guys want to go there and subscribe? Make sure you subscribe. So what I did there, Blaze. I pumped you up. Can't say you do that.
You got half my subs watching.
You know what I'm saying? Can't do that for Big Clout, but you know, I don't know how it is. Anyway, here's the video from Blaze 4K.
Oh, you did the shorts.
He did a short, and it's that's like the
new
trend.
Because I watched it on YouTube.
So here it is.
Congratulations to all you PP dick suckers, man. Congratulations. Make sure you add this on. Make sure you make it the most wish-listed game on Steam. Make sure you make it positive. Sony, keep bringing them up. You know, you motherfuckers just leave good reviews, add it to your wish list. You know, and the dudes that do buy the game, they buy it, they run a benchmark for their channel, and then they delete. Man, you guys ain't even. But you about to get a good game, and I just want to wish you and all the people that work at Nvidia and AMD a congratulations for another great game that you've stolen from my console. Congratulations. How many views that got?
Like 4,000. Like over 4,000.
Good.
There you guys go. Blaze 4K.
Oh. Dude, you do got like the like to dislike ratios. It's around.
We kind of got ratio.
%, I think.
Oh, bro, it's okay. Listen, I knew exactly what I was doing and why. I did it. It's not. You know, I love it. You know, I see Twitter writing, "Oh, the tears of salt." Like, no, that's tears of joy. Thank you for the free. Yo, I've gained 138 subs last night.
From that
I haven't even checked yet, but watch. I'll check again. Hold on, let's see what it says.
Just check it.
That's crazy.
Oh man, this guy. Shout out to Cloaked Onyx. He says, "I'm so excited for Spider-Man coming to PC. The mods for the game are going to be amazing, but for the first mod, we're bringing back Peter's OG face." Oh,
I don't know. If that like. I'm trying to see if in Spider-Man Remastered.
That's the one they changed his face.
Yeah, no. So I'm trying to like see if you can go into the file to rechange that because it's gonna be kind of difficult to do that.
Don't doubt these modders now. These modders.
No. But I'm saying because when it comes to mocap, like how are you gonna do that? Like in game makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But like in cutscenes, it's gonna unless it's embedded within the game, coding like. Then it'll be easy to do. But if it's not,
fine. The new face looks fine. It's just I ain't gonna lie. If it wasn't that we didn't have that original, I mean, I wouldn't have really been like, okay, cool. But
the only thing is, hopefully in the sequel that they just make him look a bit older. That's about it. I don't have an issue with the face. Just make him older looking because the new mocap face. It's just like if you look at the actor, he does like they made it look like in the game like a younger.
Yeah.
face than the mocap actor.
I think they will in the second one. The problem was it was an old game, so that's why it didn't transfer over. I don't think it's good. When we get to the next one, it's going to be crazy. What
I looked at the comments. Somebody actually said they're like, if you look at the reflection on his console, he's got like a whole shitload of PC games on his screen.
No shit.
That's the best part. Somebody noticed that you have a whole shit ton of PC games.
Yeah, that's funny.
Fucking idiots, bro.
Oh man. Oh, that was the best comment ever.
Oh God.
I don't know why people like.
You know how dudes are, bro. You know how they be. They can't take a joke.
God.
You are hilarious, though.
But what do you guys, I think, in terms of predictions, like for the showcase, if they're like I personally would have thought RE4 Remake would have been announced at the showcase, right? PlayStation Showcase, which we're all assuming is in September, right? And then with Final Fantasy 16, like also like I'm assuming now because of there's going to be info on Remake Part 2 that because they showed off 16 trailer for the State of Play that they're going to have the announcement for 7 Remake Part 2 for the PlayStation Showcase.
Yeah, it's definitely I forgot who said it in the chat. He said, what if it's not going to be a summer game? I do think God of War is a Summer Games Fest because Jeff Keighley
even Last of Us Remake too.
Yeah, because Jeff Keighley just confirmed that Call of Duty's gameplay, the multiplayer gameplay, is going to be at Summer Games Fest.
Well,
so
Sony was
campaign?
listed.
Gameplay. Oh, it wasn't.
Okay.
Like PlayStation was listed on Summer Game. Well, I guess maybe it could have been the State of Play since that was like branded under.
That's
Summer
true.
Game Fest. But I actually think, I really do think that we're gonna get at least like a State of Play for God of War before September for sure. Like
for the like a demo like thing like they did with Ratchet and Horizon.
Like it's coming soon. I'd say like my gut says probably August, but maybe even July.
Okay.
Could even be State of Play. The thing is, like the game probably is coming out in September. Like there's just so many indications that like the rating in Korea but the biggest thing really for me is like the merchandise is dropping in September.
Mm-hmm.
Just doesn't make sense. Like if you like you always like put yourself in a business mindset or a marketing concept, like a marketing department or whatever. Like you always release all your merch like right when your product launches, right? So it's got to be around then, like October at the absolute latest, early October, I would say.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm with you. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it. That's all that pretty much happened this week. Unless you guys have anything you want to throw at the table here. Anything else happened that you guys thought was worth talking about? I mean, Twitter, for the first time ever, Twitter went quiet off of one game. And I was like, wow, I don't hear nothing. I don't see nothing over this game going to pieces.
I mean, there's nothing else. I mean, we'll get more news Thursday, right?
I mean, the other half Sunday. Of the good news is going to be at Jeff Keighley's showcase. So
and June 12th will be Xbox's Bethesda showcase. So that'll be like a couple days after Summer Game Fest. So it's like finally we're starting to get news now, like because it's been dry for a while.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's an interesting idea. He says unless they want to wait until November or December for God of War to release it to fit the Norse theme of Fimbulwinter.
I doubt it.
But I doubt they do that though.
I think the latest is October. I don't feel like they want to push that November, December.
Concept, well, the thing is too is that Sony announced definitively that they're going to release 2 multiplayer games between now and the end of March, right?
Yeah.
They said they're going to release 3 like within this like calendar or fiscal year or whatever. They have one with MLB The Show, right? Mm-hmm. So there's God of War and there's 2 other games at least that are coming. Like the games that are coming out between like now and March, they're probably like at least like 2 of them are going to release before Christmas, right? Yep. Probably all 3, but you know, there's a good chance maybe one launches early next year. But I mean, like, they're sitting on a bunch of games, man. Like, why would they?
Because isn't Last of Us remake basically done?
Remake still was supposed
to. Yeah, Last of Us remake. Yeah,
that's supposed to be this
Last
year,
of Us
right?
Factions.
Was that supposed to be this year? Last of Us remake?
The rumor, like the thing is, like, yeah, there's been rumors for sure, lots of rumors that it's coming out this year, but I think there's actually a chance it might slip into next year because, well, because the producer of the HBO series said that it's coming like early 2023, right? Like I imagine they want to. What's that?
The show or is it the game?
The show.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The show, but I imagine like they probably want to tie them like around, like within a month or two of each other.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it depends on when the HBO. If the HBO is like, you know, February, then sure, maybe it'll launch in like November or December. But if HBO is going to be like, you know, March or April, then I'd say probably early next year. It's like going to be their Horizon game, right? Yeah. Probably like end of January, beginning of February.
No, man. Good point. Good question. Good points indeed on everybody. He said more Destruction All-Stars. Oh, God, no.
You could ask the chat if they want to.
Yeah, if you guys want us to talk about anything, go ahead. List it in the chat. But we covered everything. All the good, the bad. Really, there was no bad from the show.
The only other news that I heard that like kind of piqued my interest is like there's rumors that Microsoft is forcing all of their studios to provide actual gameplay for their showcase.
Oh, I think I heard something like
that. That's actually good, kind of, in my opinion.
Yeah, like I heard that, and I was like, good. Yeah. Like that's like what do you think State of Play was? You think State of Play was CGI trailers, or you think it was gameplay?
Exactly.
Because I sure saw a hell of a lot of gameplay.
The only one that was kind of iffy was probably the Resident Evil 4, but we did see gameplay.
I mean, you only saw him walking.
Yeah. There was a little bit of gameplay, but still, like aside from that, almost everything else, like Stray was gameplay, Callisto was gameplay, Final Fantasy was gameplay, Seasons gameplay. But yeah, like that would actually be awesome, right? Because Xbox usually has a pretty good show every year, but then it's almost like one of those things where I get like blown away by the show because they go like super big on like, you know, lights, cameras, like spectacle. They go big on
presentation,
that.
not necessarily the look. Even though I thought Sony still kind of edged them out presentation wise because Sony would go with orchestras and really elevate the games with music. Yeah. But Microsoft would always go with like I guess the aesthetic. That's the word I'm looking for. The aesthetic. Of the way it looks, like how dynamic.
Yeah, it was kind of like I always like walked away from their shows like pretty blown away, but then I sleep on it, and then I wake up the next day and I'm like, wait a minute, how much gameplay did I actually see? Like that was all like CG, wasn't it? Like what is? I have no idea like what to expect, right? What does State of Decay 3 look like? What does Fable look like?
Yep.
Right? What do any of these games?
If they're forcing it though, there's some games that I don't think will show up as a result though, right?
Well, yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Like State of Decay 3, I doubt it'll be there. Yeah. Maybe Fable.
Yeah.
The Initiatives /
wasn't they working on Project Dark?
Which one?
Or Perfect Dark?
Yeah. The Initiative and Crystal Dynamics. Yeah. Which, you know, because of Crystal Dynamics going in and people are saying, like, it's basically being rebooted. Yeah. I don't see Perfect Dark.
And Rare's game is, like, in development hell.
So the ones I see is, in terms of gameplay, Obsidian's Avowed game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Starfield.
Redfall. For sure.
Redfall.
Yeah. The new Forza, whatever that's going to be.
Yeah, the new Forza. I'm trying to think of any others.
6, because we saw Gears.
Well, no, supposedly there's a collection. Unreal. There's a rumor for a collection.
Yeah.
So you might see
like the Master Chief collection.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And
I don't know. They learned a lesson from the Master Chief.
Maybe Gear 6 after the trailer.
Hellblade 2 will have.
Yeah, Hellblade you'll see gameplay too.
But the thing is too is it's like, even if they just show us all of those games and like have one or two surprises, but all those games are gameplay, I would much rather that than having like another Fable CGI and another State of Decay CGI. It's like I won't even care. Like, what does the game look like?
Yeah.
Do you guys see Indiana Jones making an appearance or no?
That's a good point.
That's a good point. Yeah.
When
was that announced? I'm trying to remember.
Was
like
it
2 years
ago?
Was it
2020? Was it 2020?
Yeah, it feels like a couple of years ago.
Like 2 years ago.
It might have been 2020. Yeah. before the acquisition happened, I think.
It was before the acquisition, yeah. So
and then you had the rumors going around. And this is a rumor, by the way.
That
supposedly that game is multi-platform, which it does make sense because if they were talking to Bethesda, Lucasfilms, and saying, "Hey, this is going to A, B, C, and D platform," if Microsoft buys it, they have to honor the original agreement that was with Bethesda, unless they go to Lucasfilm / Disney and say, "Hey, for X amount of money, we want to, have it just for Xbox and Game Pass."
A game has some tough shoes to fill if it wants to take the crown from Uncharted. I'll tell you that right now. Uncharted set its own little throne, so we'll see what's up with that.
Well, dude, like the odds of any game outdoing Uncharted is pretty slim.
It's very slim.
But I mean, like it's gonna be good because I mean it's the Wolfenstein team, right? Like, out of all Bethesda studios,
that's the funny thing. Everybody says Wolfenstein, but it's Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein.
Really?
I never heard anybody say that.
Well, I'm still gonna call it Wolfenstein. But anyways, like, I've always enjoyed the stories of Wolfenstein games. Like they're pretty good stories. So I think that there's a really good chance this game's gonna be awesome.
Again,
but the only problem is, it's like for me, it's like I was okay with it until I heard Todd Howard is involved.
Oh God, you usually let things go.
Bro, I don't care for Todd Howard's like
let things
direction in terms of story. That's just me, though.
Oh God, we go to the chat real quick before we shut this down.
No, there were some questions. I think somebody said, "Are you guys excited for like the what's it, Avatar Frontier or something like that?"
I'm not at all. I'm
that's what that's a Ubisoft game, and I said no, I'm not.
I'm excited for the movie of Avatar, not no game at all. Do you think Sony cares about Forspoken if they're releasing God of War?
I don't think so.
And that, I guess, in October. I don't think it's going to be in October. That's more of a guesstimate if we don't get it. Any news? But if I'm pretty sure Sony would respect it enough to not release it in October because if Forspoken goes against God of War, then it would just be a flat-out casualty.
I just don't think Forspoken's going to do well. I really don't.
Forspoken's in that tough situation where it's like you thought it made the right impression, but now it's like a lot of people are just like, it's a lot of stuff coming out.
Yeah, initially it did, and then when people started seeing more and hearing about the story and the dialogue, and some of the gameplay, people were getting put off by it. So, like, I think personally, they like if the game was fine, of course, May would have been that perfect time frame. I think because people were starving for games. And I think they would have done well, like the Dying Light 1 situation.
That's one project I do want to hear something on. It's that 007 game. Shout out to Perfect Image with the 2. He says, "Hey guys, do you know if GoldenEye project is almost done?" You remember that, Hunter? We were supposed to get some news for 007. We haven't gotten.
I saw. I think it was just yesterday that I don't know if this is true because I didn't like fact check it, but I saw people on Reddit were tweeting that I guess one of the developers from Rare had just got a new achievement because that like he's linked it to like true achievements or whatever online, and so you can actually see the date of when they unlocked the achievement, and it just got unlocked yesterday. Right? So like I mean I don't know if it's actually a Rare developer. That's why I'm saying I didn't fact check to make sure that this like true achievement person really is, but assuming it's a Rare employee, then yeah, like I mean,
wait, is it the new 007 game or is it just like a remaster?
Well, we don't know
because I know like I thought the only thing for the new 007 was made by the Hitman team, IO Interactive.
Yeah, it's IO. Yeah.
So that's why I was asking.
So maybe this is like maybe it's a remaster then because it was a Rare dude.
Yeah.
Unless they're gonna retell it, redo it, like you can have like Hitman style controls, but you can have like a first person, you know what I mean, esque approach. I don't know.
I think they would do their own thing. I don't think they would want to remake something.
Yeah.
The thing is, back on the topic of Forspoken though, the thing is that I do actually agree. I think May would have been great, but the thing is that this fall actually to me seems like pretty barren. So I'm not sure like what's better, May or October. Like honestly, like what are we playing this fall? We're gonna be playing God of War.
Yep.
There's Call of Duty coming.
Forspoken. Well, yeah, Call of Duty.
And I mean, there's other games going to probably be announced.
Callisto Protocol.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But usually there's like 5 good games a month, right? True. Like there's like maybe 1 or 2
they get
games
lost in the shuffle.
a month coming out, and it just seems like a much lighter fall.
Yeah.
So I think like what else is coming out in October that we know that could take away from Forspoken? I don't really know a lot of it based on the current release.
Yeah,
maybe like Summer Game
Nintendo.
Fest.
Maybe Nintendo has an announcement, but even then, I'm just like, I don't think Nintendo.
Well, they got Pokemon.
They got a Pokemon. I forgot Pokemon.
Yeah.
They did show that trailer for like the Pokemon Violet.
But is that the same audience? Like maybe
no.
I don't think. But I think they're largely different, right? Yeah. So it's gonna be the Final Fantasy crowd that's gonna get Forspoken. That just like they can't wait until summer 2020.
I don't know if like the Final. That's what I've been saying. It's like I don't know if the Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah.
From
Hogwarts
what I
Legacy.
gathered from the fans.
When was Hogwarts Legacy dropping?
Oh, it's supposed to be in.
Oh yeah, that's another good one.
But we don't know.
Yeah,
we don't know that could get delayed.
Holiday.
Yeah.
Or it stays in the holiday time frame. But I was saying like a lot of Final Fantasy fans aren't really like excited for Forspoken. From what I could tell, it's like they're very much they've said this in multiple forums. They rather have Final Fantasy 16 come out this year than Forspoken. That's what they've
makes sense, but I mean, I think everyone would rather have Final Fantasy 16. But what I'm thinking is that like, you know, this game might tide them over, right? Like we've got a year between now and Final Fantasy.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll see. Like I don't know, man. Maybe it'll end up being bad. Maybe it'll end up being good.
Yeah,
I don't really know what to expect with Forspoken, to be honest. So I can't really say like how well it's
going to be a super hit.
Sell,
but the only thing we know is it's the same development studio from 15. It's just not the same director.
Yeah.
And they're using Luminous Engine.
Yeah.
I did want to mention one note for 16. Like, if you go back and watch like the first trailer and then watch this trailer, graphically, it's been very much enhanced. Because that's one of the things for 16. When I first saw it, I was like, yeah, and I was like, graphics don't look that great compared to even 15. But then with this showing, they very much improved like the face models and textures and all that. So like a 2-year difference makes a big difference. From showing up.
I don't know if this game will ever launch, but I'm still waiting for an update on that Wukong Black Myth game. Y'all remember that one?
I don't know when.
Still waiting on that too. I don't know if that game's ever going to come out at this point.
Dude, there's so many games that I don't know like what's happening. Like Lost Soul aside, like what's happening with that.
Oh
like,
I forgot about that.
I'm big on RPGs, so Grand Blue Fantasy, like Relink.
Oh wait, that been.
I
blame. Let's be real. That was all Platinum's fault because they were on that game. Right?
Yeah, true. Yeah,
and then they were on too many games, and then the other studio that was working with them that had like the reins were like, they were like, you need to go.
Yeah.
And then they were like trying to figure everything out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that
just
game
feels
will
like.
come out.
Yeah. Well, they said this year, like.
Yeah.
There was an update that they said it's going to come out this year, but.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like pretty big games that I'm looking forward to on PlayStation that they feel like they're like in development hell or just taking forever to come out. So
yeah,
even that like what was that one, Project Eve or whatever?
Oh yeah,
that looked really good.
Yes,
it was like the Korean developers for that. It looked really good. Looked like Bayonetta basically for PlayStation.
Yeah.
Nope.
That we heard about that game in September of last year and.
A showcase.
Almost like a year later, we still have no idea what.
So, how do you guys feel about like September showcase? I don't know. I'd rather have like the June showcase. I feel like September is a bit late for me. Just like I don't know. Like I still get excited, but I'd rather have it like at least July maybe or August latest. September.
Yeah.
It might still be on track for earlier. You know what I mean? They're just like Sony's very secretive, you know, with all these Reddit leaks and all this stuff. I mean, that's just what it is.
Yeah, man. I prefer summer because like summer is just so low key and like nothing happens, right?
Yeah.
Like that's why it was always cool to have E3 in June, because you know that these games are going to be coming out probably in the fall, right? So we can spend all summer getting hyped and like looking at trailers and like digging into info and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if they have a state of play in September and they announce God of War is coming out in October, right? I'm only gonna have a few weeks of getting like beyond excited, where I'm like, I can count down the days, right? But if they actually had a showcase next week, like, dude, I'd be so pumped. I know it would be like 4 months away, but I'd be counting the days. Every like 2 weeks I tweet out like, oh, like 97 days,
Yeah,
77
days before showtime or something.
47 days, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I just like, it's just so much fun to like be excited a few months out versus their current thing where it's like they have a showcase and then it's like we're already in the holiday season.
Oh man, all right. Perfect image with another 2. He says Forspoken should come to PlayStation Plus. I'm guessing he's talking about like in the next year, like they're doing for sure.
I don't know, man. That they would lose a lot of money, man.
I doubt they're gonna do that, but that would be cool. That'd be huge, man. Actually, if they did that,
or like a big discount for it if you're in that extra tier. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff Sony can spend it to sell that game if they really needed to.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if Sony would do that, because I don't know if Sony wants to set that precedent. That's the thing, right? Once you give gamers like something once, then they just demand that all the time, right? So
yeah,
I kind of feel like it's going to be the smaller titles, like the indie titles, like the like the AA titles that come day one, the big $70 AAA games like Forspoken. Can't see it, man. Like Sony doesn't want, they don't want to condition gamers like that, like Xbox does, where it's like now Xbox gamers won't buy anything.
Yeah.
So because you mentioned $70, and I forgot Forspoken is also going day and date to PC, right, on Steam and Epic Games Store.
Yeah.
I don't know if that game is going to sell well, because like a lot of PC gamers,
or is it 50?
Is like 70.
It's $70 for
Forspoken is
on
PC.
Yeah,
it's like PlayStation. Yeah,
on PC
so,
it's 70. Oof.
Yeah, on Steam. I don't know, man, because like PC players, like they'll complain, but they'll like actually not.
They'll actually not buy it.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing I think that may end up happening for that game as well.
Well, I gotta say, great show, guys. Seriously, we've covered everything. None else to really go over. State of play was good. I'm gonna go to you guys and ask you guys your rating. I already know what 100 is. I mean, I don't want to say, but you guys didn't hear it on the show.
We already rated.
So I'm gonna start with Red Hood first. Red Hood.
Oh man, I feel like I'm gonna be the highest one out of here.
10 out of 10.
The only thing I didn't care was the season game, but like everything else was actually really, really good. And RE2 remake was crazy.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 16 just I was going
was
insane
chef's
about
kiss for you, huh?
So I freaking loved it. So for me, I think honestly, for me it's a 9.5.
9.5. Okay.
For me, it's a 9.5.
That's good, man.
Like State of Plays for me, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't liked a State of Play for a long time, I feel.
Yeah.
So once that happened, and once the games looked great, and you saw Callisto Protocol, all these games, it's like it was great. I really thought the State of Play was very strong, and other people felt the same, like from live streamers and all that. So
yeah, seeing the reactions was a nice addition to it too. It's kind of like when you watch the MCU reactions, you know what I mean? Like watching everybody react to the crazy like big reveals. That stuff was cool. For me, I loved the hell out of it as soon as Resident Evil 4. Like, you guys got to see my reaction to Resident Evil 4. When I saw the R, I'm like, okay. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, is that Last of Us 2 remake? Then you see the 4, you're like, let's go. This is it. I was already hyped for the rest of the show. That was the super highlight for me. But then I thought that was going to be a super highlight for me. And then they showed the Callisto Protocol. And I was like, okay, was not expecting to see this game here. And holy shit, does this game make me question Dead Space remake right now in terms of brutality, because I love what I saw of the gritty nature, how over the top it was. I love how they're putting a big emphasis on stealth. You know, not really stealth, but, you know, being cautious around corners. The actual AI looks much more aggressive than what you would see in Dead Space, and it's real creative, very creative. Even like it felt like they took hints. I don't know if you saw that movie Prometheus, Hunter, but you know, like that little tentacle thing with the head and it bites you. Kind of reminds you of that little tentacle thing from Prometheus when it grabbed his arm and it broke his arm. It looked just like it. It's like
snake thingy, yeah.
So it was cool. I really dig that, and everything else for it. Again, like the Spider-Man thing didn't bother me at all. A lot of people were crying about it. I'm like, bro, you guys cry about everything at this point, so I'm not worried about that at all. I'm happy for that because that game's gonna get even more money in general. Nah, it wasn't a face sucker. It was like I guess you call it the arm breaker, right? for Prometheus, that was like the arm breaker, and then it goes in your throat type of thing, and like kills and absorbs your nutrient. It was a weird thing they did for that thing, but nah, it was a good state of play. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed the hell out of it. Even the VR titles look great. The roller blade game as well looked really good too. Really thought this was a good state of play, and better than I thought it was going to be for a third-party showcase. I went into this with pretty much low expectations. I didn't expect God of War to really be here because they didn't really give us that, emphasis that it would be here. They did say updates, so I figured it might be included, but it wasn't, and it wasn't no announcement at the end of the trailer like, hey guys, next state of play is here. So nothing like that. Hunter, what's your thoughts? What was your rating for the show?
Yeah, man. So I thought it was really good, just like what you guys said. I thought there were so many good games. I think actually, like I've got pretty broad taste. So I thought anything from like The Walking Dead VR, I thought that looked amazing. I thought like Enter Nights looked really good. Obviously, like the big AAA stuff looked amazing. The Resident Evil, of course, I also thought it was The Last of Us. I was like, yes, like they're finally they're starting off State of Play with The Last of Us remake. This is awesome. And I'm like, whoa! It's actually so you know what? I'm also giving it an 8 out of 10. I think the only thing for me that was really missing is there wasn't any game that got announced that was sort of like out of left field that would have like blown my lid off. Resident Evil 4 obviously got announced, but there's been so many rumors about this. Like we all knew that this was coming.
And we kind of all speculated because remember how we talked about the PR person from Japan? You remember that? It was about the show with the Google. I'm like, okay, so obviously something big, either at Capcom or Square Enix is going to be here at this show, and that was it.
Like if there was something that I just completely like didn't expect, even something like last time where they had like Project Eve or whatever, like that stuff like that. I know Enter Nights was new, but it wasn't. I don't think it was at the same level.
It needed that Bloodborne announcement. That's what it needed.
Yeah, like it needed for sure. Like or like Silent Hill something, like tease something Silent Hill, or even like it seems pretty obvious that Death Stranding 2 is going to to be announced like
that's gonna be
very soon, right?
Yeah. Either the Game Awards or PlayStation Showcase, one or the other.
That's Keely's show.
Not Game Awards, sorry, Summer Game Fest or PlayStation Showcase.
Keely got that. And Keely was talking about how there wasn't a lot of announcements. So I'm thinking he's like getting a lot of deals for his showcase. He just announced Call of Duty's campaigns making his debut, Summer Games Fest.
Gotham Knights.
Like, dude, like the perfect example of what I mean of like a game that has this like huge like bombshell moment. I would say like the Final Fantasy 16 announcement that happened last September at the showcase event. Like they started off their showcase with that, and like my jaw was like, what is going on here? This is like this is 16. We're seeing it for the first time. It's gonna be PlayStation exclusive. Like holy, like megaton. You know what I mean? Resident Evil 4 was like pretty close, but I just wanted like a little bit more. I thought I guess maybe I sort of have like my E3 mindset on too, right? Yeah. Sony, as we talked about many times, like 2018 and even like 2017, like they had like just like some incredible E3s with God of War being announced and Spider-Man
2016
being announced. Like I was hoping for something like that, but dude, it's coming, man. Sony's making some bombshell games,
Yeah,
but
I'm not,
we just
not
got
worried about it too much, especially going into
we just
next
got to
year.
sit tight.
Yeah.
But in terms
Especially-
of like third party, man, like holy jeez, man, we're eating good, man.
We're usually not this hype for third party. You never noticed that, but no, this was really good.
Callisto, man, like
yeah.
jeez, that was my game of the show for sure. Like Callisto, it's so weird because I would have always assumed that Resident Evil 4 would have been
Right.
my big one, but like
It would have if Callisto wasn't.
Callisto
here.
just looks so good, man. Like gameplay looks so good for that. So
yeah. Even the eerie shots, like he's walking past the bodies, and there's like one that's like looking at like the eye turns towards him. Like,
Yeah.
okay, that is
with like the spider webs all over it or whatever.
The
Yeah,
boils, whatever the things are. I was like, ugh. I was kind of getting like you're obviously seen The Thing, right? The classic movie.
Yeah,
I was
course,
getting the
man,
Thing vibe, like where it's like, okay, who's infected, and they start changing around you. That's what it looked like. In the game too. But nah, man, it looks fantastic. I can't wait to play it, and yeah, it was a great show. Shout out to everybody who came through. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Seen a lot of you guys, so I'm glad you guys enjoyed. If you haven't hit that like button, definitely do so. We'll definitely see you guys next week. We got a lot in store for you. Saturday, got a big interview for you guys, one-on-one. And Friday, I'm going to see if we can get a special guest as well. I forgot to hit him up, ironically, for today's show, so I'm hitting him up tomorrow or probably Monday to see if we can set that up for you guys, all right? And appreciate y'all coming through. Perfect Image comes in clutch with another 2. He says, MW2, is it a buy or a pass? Depends on the gameplay, man, for me. If I see something
It's
that I
a buy
like,
for me from
I'll definitely
2019.
think
That was
about
too good.
this is the sequel to the last one, like the legit last one, Modern Warfare.
Yeah,
right?
basically,
Okay.
Modern Warfare
Yeah.
2 is gonna essentially be what Modern Warfare 1 was, because what Modern Warfare 2019 was, even though it's called Modern Warfare 1, is like happens before, the original Modern Warfare.
Okay. You buying it too, Hunter? Modern Warfare 2?
yeah. I mean, Call of Duty is just like a game that I get every year, and I don't usually get into the multiplayer all that much. I'm just not into it as much these days. But yeah, like I always play the campaigns, and so for sure, yeah, I'm getting it.
All right, for sure. What's up, Eddie? Well, that's episode 191. Shout out to all you guys, man. We're getting close to 200 episodes on this podcast. That is crazy. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you next week. And also, shout out to IGN. Big announcement coming up. So I just want to throw that out there. Y'all be good. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be easy. I'm out here.